Пошли. Все вместе. Какие ваши доказательства?
They want you to comply.
Cancel culture is about cancel culture.
Кокаином.
Up yours. Woke moralists. Up yours.
This is systematic bullying that's happening.
Woke moralists. Up yours.
And they believe that they can then
Woke
shut us
moralists.
up.
Up around and find out.
Up yours. Woke moralists.
They seem animalistic is what I mean.
No, they're worse than animals.
The woke mob, they ruin everything.
They stop Ben Shapiro from going to events and speaking. They stop Ann Coulter from doing it.
I will never surrender even a single inch of ground to a pitchfork mob.
You never cave to the mob.
We will never bow to the mob. Ever. No matter what.
Do you see the final expression of cancel culture in terrorist groups like
Up yours.
We'll see who cancels who.
Hey. Maybe I'll turn my lights on.
How's
Whoa.
everyone feeling?
It's bright.
It's way better.
Great. Everything's great.
I'm feeling so good. So optimistic.
I was just watching Hasan debating Asmongold, the famous Asmongold.
That's happening.
Oh God,
They're
that
debating
guy's-
live right now, and Asmongold is learning about a lot of.
You're gonna lose
things
our
in
audience.
real
Lance.
time.
Be quiet.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh shit! Where'd you all go?
We can just stream it if people are
But
mad
again,
at
I don't
this.
know why anybody would willfully watch. What's that guy's name again? Asmongold? What the fuck his name is?
Asmongold.
Asmongold?
Ass.
Yeah.
Listen,
Ass.
there's like. Listen,
Why would you
there's
ever
a lot
willfully
of-
watch
there's a-
that jackass?
There's
Right.
a lot of There's a. I don't know why I'm so low. I just gotta scream. I
There
don't
you
know.
go.
Scream at us, yeah.
There are a lot of streamers who I just don't get. Like I don't get what made them so popular. But like every now and then I'll catch a clip and I'm like, oh, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But I will never. I've yet to see that clip for Asmongold.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Yeah.
So true. So true. I hate Destiny, and I know why Destiny's popular. I know why some people find him extremely entertaining. I can see that. I hate Alex Jones, but I know why people find Alex Jones.
Oh, Alex Jones is a master at what he does.
Yeah,
he is.
You know, him and Donald Trump are second to none at intentional hilariousness. But that Asmongold, like, it's like the fucking he literally has blood on the walls in one of these photos he posts. There's
I saw a photo of that.
Like,
he has no charisma. It's just there's no camera presence. He's so boring. Like, he's wrong about everything, and he's incredibly boring. What is the appeal here? I don't understand.
What like I watched a couple of his videos. I watched one that he did on Stellar Blade where he says normal people react to the Stellar Blade controversy, which we can get into later. But
I would love
all
to.
he does
It's
is
very important.
I think it's one of the most important stories of our time. But like he'll pull up a video, somebody else's video, and he'll just watch it and he'll chime in now and then and be like, "Yup, uh-huh." And I'm like,
there another guy who
man,
does that who's really big?
XQC.
Like I don't get it. Like
But XQC talks fast at least. He's got that. He's very
You know
fast.
what I think it is?
somebody else?
Yeah, he's got a Quebec accent.
Oh,
That's like
he's
that.
a French
I
guy,
get why he's entertaining to see some people too.
No, just having a funny accent doesn't make you entertaining. I'm sorry.
Well, it worked. I
disagree.
get why some people would find that entertaining. I'm not saying I do.
I think it's just that people want somebody to watch videos with, and rather than just watching the original video yourself, you can kind of feel like you're watching it with a friend who's also stinky. And so maybe that's what it is.
Who wants to do? People are complaining about my lighting now. I gotta just tear everything down. I gotta tear down. I gotta tear down my lights, my camera.
It's like you're sitting on a cloud in
look
heaven.
like you're in heaven. Yeah,
like an angel.
I don't know what's going on, man.
You're just glowing.
How about I'm in hell now? There you go.
That doesn't help.
I don't.
No,
I
it's
don't
still
get
super
what's
white.
going on. I don't get what's going on. I don't know what's happening.
I think your lighting is fine. It's the white balance.
Your lighting is fine.
No, it's the white balance. It's completely off. I don't know what's going on. I can't get it right. I guess that's a little bit better. Christ
Do
almighty,
people expect quality from streams? I don't think. I mean, I've seen some shitty ass
I don't have a shitty ass camera.
Famous people terrible
That's
cameras.
the problem. I don't have a shitty ass camera. If I just had some like Logitech webcam, I could be like, oh, what do you guys expect? But I'm using a mirrorless camera. This is ridiculous.
And I've got a Logitech, and I feel like it's pretty good.
It's much better than mine right now.
Good.
I don't get it. I just got to redo everything. I just got to redo everything.
Yeah. See, when you
look at the white balance right now.
It was very angelic.
You know why? It's because it's on auto adjust. You have to set it to. You have to like set it manually.
I messed it up with something. All right.
Yeah. Once you set it manually, then it shouldn't, because it's just adjusting to when you're moving. That's the problem.
True. But now you have to tell us what God's cum tastes like.
Oh,
what the hell? What a left turn that was.
Wow.
Tastes delicious.
Nice.
Oh, really?
That's good to find out.
Not bitter.
I will say this conversation so far a lot more lighthearted than I expected. 10 minutes.
Yeah, nothing happened this week. Nothing crazy.
Happened.
Everything's beautiful this week.
Everything is great.
Yeah.
What a terrible week.
I've just been so like I put this on Twitter. I feel like I need therapy just to deal with the level of the amount of propaganda that I've seen over the past few days, just over these protests. It has, like, there have been like, I'll be sitting in my room just blurting out like, "Oh God," like I'll just be like just to get out the anger, anxiety. I'll just be like saying shit after reading some garbage I'm seeing or watching some shitty video like Dana Bash on CNN or Morning Joe. Al Sharpton, like it's all just such fucking garbage. Like Fox News, of course, they're of course all shit. And look, to be clear, usually, often MSNBC, CNN are as well. But it's like the level of propaganda. The thing with the chains, the bike chains.
Oh my God! Like that should be deeply embarrassing to everyone involved. He should have said that like before it happened, and looked down at the chains and been like, "Are we doing this? We're really gonna fuck it. All right." You were like, "That's yeah." I can't believe that.
I guess I should. I mean, if I don't know if people have been in a cave all week and didn't see this story, I guess I can bring this up.
I on my stream last night I went through all this stuff. But let's watch it together, obviously. I this really like sort of invigorated me. Like honestly, like the past couple of months, you know, after, you know, I still do what I do, but like I haven't been, people may have noticed if I haven't, you know, I tweet maybe once or twice a day, nothing crazy. But then I saw this shit and I had to like jump back into Matt Binder mode on Twitter and just go fucking balls to the wall nuts on this. Like this was insane. Like this was like propaganda to the like that I haven't seen since the BLM protests of the summer of 2020, when we saw the same shit about outside agitators coming in and how it was Antifa doing this and that.
Was that on? Was MSNBC doing that though?
I don't remember.
I feel like this is like This is like an extra level. Of course, all the conservative outlets were like, you know, doing all the BS.
Well, I remember in 2020, I actually gave testimony to New York AG Letitia James about what I saw firsthand at some of the protests with the cops and how they were, and on top of that, the conspiracy theories they were spreading online. I don't know if you guys recall, but a NYPD member went on TV, I think it was like Fox News or something, and there was a QAnon mug in the background. And I was like,
yes. Oh, yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
that.
and I gave her testimony because I was like, this is ridiculous. Like someone with some sort of oversight needs to be aware of what's going on here. And so I gave testimony to them. This is that all over again. In fact, it's even worse because the mayor this time around is not only like just like quietly endorsing it, he's full on giving them the green light to go fucking nuts like this. He's part of it. Yeah.
He was sitting right beside him in that press conference where they, instead of a mic drop, it was like a bike lock drop. You know, where it just said like, "Listen to how heavy this is. You hear that? You know this."
Oh, we could play that too. That was so absurd. Here, let me play this video first.
You're right. Go ahead.
Tell us about this change.
Yeah, so when we entered Hamilton Hall, this is not what students bring to school. Okay, this is
Don't
what
think so.
professionals bring to campuses
Nope,
and
they
universities.
sure don't.
These are heavy industrial chains that were locked with bike locks, and this is what we encountered on every door inside of Hamilton Hall. And so in order for our emergency services group to enter into the building, they had to first cut through these chains, but also get rid of debris and barricaded doors that were barricaded with refrigerators, vending machines, chairs, you name it. They pushed it up against those doors to try and stop us from coming in. But our guys would not be stopped. They did a fantastic job of entering into that location.
Okay, I want to pause it here because I want to find the picture of these very locks.
Well, first of all, as the resident New Yorker here, I can tell you right now that these are kryptonite bike chains. In fact, that specific.
Did you know it's called the Forget About It?
The New York Forget About It. Yes, it's
Forget
literally
About
called the New York Forget About It.
I'm locking my bike over here.
I've seen these on every regular cycle. Like if you're a regular cyclist in New York, which there are a lot of, you see these wrapped around every single bike. I'm not even talking about like you see them when they like need to whip it out to chain it up to a fence or something. You see these wrapped around a bike when they're moving. They're so visible on every single bike because basically if you live in New York and you regularly ride a bike, you've probably had it stolen at some point. So you learn that lesson and then you spend the money to get this incredibly strong New York Forget About It bike lock and chain from kryptonite. Everyone has it if you're a regular bike rider. And not only that, but the school itself, Columbia, was selling these bike lock and chains themselves on.
So you're saying they're encouraging the protesters to barricade themselves because they're selling this for them. I see. I see.
And the police are out there claiming these are industrial chains that no student could ever have or even get their hands on, which is bizarre because let's just say for the fuck of it, these weren't sold at the school and they weren't your average bike chain. There's hardware stores all over New York City. You could get a bike lock and a chain. You can just get a lock and a chain anywhere in New York. It's New York. They sell everything and everything. It's the year 2024. There's Amazon warehouses all over around New York City. I can get almost anything sent to me by 10 a.m. tomorrow morning if I order it right now. This is ridiculous.
The idea that you can buy a gun, but you can't get a chain. You can legally purchase all these chains, though. Oh, you need the black market to get these chains. Like, get the fuck out of here. It's so stupid.
Like I could literally, I could order anything right now and have it in my hands.
Oh, you got
within just a few hours. It's like ridiculous.
Nice. Hell yeah!
And then if you want, I can share the Al Sharpton one as well. Like this clip is so. This comparison to January 6th.
Yeah, it's dangerous. It's dangerous to put in people's minds. Like, hey, if we're gonna call that out, why don't we call this out? Because they're completely different.
It is so stupid.
I didn't see this.
Trump, like, it's
Let me say this: the politics of that, what is being about them not doing that, Joe, where you and I agree. How do the Democrats, how do all of us on that side say January 6th was wrong if you can have the same pictures going on college campus?
Oh my God! Oh my God! Like, how stupid is that thought process? Like, do liberals really think the problem with January 6th was that the Trump protesters, the Trump rioters, the MAGA guys, the Proud Boys, the militias, the 3%ers, whatever, the QAnoners, that the problem with them on January 6th was that they broke a few windows? The whole point of January 6th is they were trying to stop the election results from being certified. They were trying to subvert the election. They were trying to actually subvert
from certifying them.
Democracy. Like, that was the whole point. Like, even if you're one of those people who think that's overboard or whatever, that's still the argument. The problem with January 6th was that. Not that they broke a few windows. That's ridiculous.
Also, like him being like, "Did you not realize these two images are similar?" I was like, when you play Call of Duty, do you think you're witnessing the Battle of Stalingrad in real time? Like, I don't get that logic. Yeah, but different things can be different still. It's wild, you know. Like,
also, after he said that, I don't know if you all heard, but Mika Brzezinski was like, "You can't compare it to January 6th." She said it sarcastically because she said that a couple of days earlier, and there was criticism. Because it's really fucking stupid to say that this is indistinguishable from January 6th. If you think that your brain is broken, you are a stupid person. But there's been so much shit about these protesters on Fox News. What's his name? Mark Levin. He's not Lennon. Mark Levin. He said he had a guest on that said that this is basically Hitler Youth. They're anti-Semitic. We're watching Hitler Youth across the country. I mean,
I
these
feel
people,
like I'm losing my mind.
Yeah, there's no depths to their dishonesty. And then Biden today released a statement calling these protesters violent, didn't bother to address the violence being done against them by cops, by pro-Israel agitators, just said they're violence. He's going to have to get their votes. How's that going to work out? I mean, the people who you need.
He doesn't care. He's choosing Israel and Benjamin Netanyahu over Trump.
Yeah, it's a calculated choice. It's over in terms of like
he's so cooked.
Right. He's cooking himself.
Yeah.
I already know how I'm voting in November. It's done. It's done.
Quote. Violent protest is not protected. Peaceful protest is. Vandalism, trespassing, breaking windows, shutting down campuses, forcing the cancellation of classes. None of this is peaceful protest. And that's not him describing the fact that every university in Gaza has been damaged or destroyed. Like, if you care, like, that's like, we've been listening to people waste so much time talking about broken glass at one of these campuses. Did you hear? Apparently the students broke a glass. There was glass on the ground. Glass shattered. They broke a glass. And it's like, what the fuck? Why are we talking about this? Why are you mad about this? Why are you concentrating on this? Why are the students protesting? Mainstream media is completely fucking this story up. If anything, they're just accelerationists. They're making it worse. They're like, you should be reviled if you see police officers beating peaceful students. Like, that should just in your core shock you. And people know this, which is why they're trying to do this. Like, hey, look at the chains. Look, Hezbollah, Antifa, Hamas, MS-13, they've all collaborated, the Chinese and the TikTok. They've made them into super soldiers, and now Antifa is releasing them onto you. They're dehumanizing students now the same way they've done to Palestinians, right? They did that press conference today where what Tom Cotton was calling the things little Gazans or little Gazas is what he called them. He's like, each one of these encampments is a little Gaza and is anti-Semitic and needs to be destroyed. I was like, what, are you going to bomb campuses, Tom Cotton? What are we doing here?
Did you all see Josh Hawley and his comment about these protests compared to what he said about Hong Kong protesters? It's funny. He was like, expel them, all this shit. And then somebody pulled up a tweet from 2019 of him talking about Hong Kong protesters and was like, these university students are being brutalized by cops. It's so disingenuous. And I think
I bet you every lib has one of those. I bet if we went through the Twitter of every single fucking blue, no matter who lib, they will have a Hong Kong protest tweet. There's probably a name for this law. There should be an internet law rule named after that. Yeah.
You don't have to go back to Hong Kong. It's happening right now with Ukraine. Like, it's unbelievable. Like,
true.
Like, it's
the emojis in the names, and they reply to you, and you're
like, there's more Ukraine. Like, the whole thing. Like, oh, I can't believe they replaced an American flag with the Palestinian flag on that one campus in New York City. Oh my God, I've seen more Ukrainian flags up than I've seen American flags. Like, are you kidding me?
I can say the same for Vancouver. There was at one point more Ukrainian flags all over the place than there was Canadian flags. There was just like Ukrainian flags everywhere. And by the way, Eric Adams has held up an Israeli flag numerous times. There's Israeli flags in the NYPD hanging up right next to the American flag. Like,
of course, in general, liberals love bringing up like this thought process we saw with Mika Brzezinski right there, and Al Sharpton, and then the flag stuff. Like, oh, these protesters, why Palestine? Why are they so obsessed with this? Why aren't they protesting Russia with you? We're on our country is on the right side in that. What am I supposed to protest? What am I supposed to protest? We just sent Ukraine billions of dollars, and you know what? I'm not one of those people who's against that. I'm fine with that. We're on the rare right side of something. What am I supposed to protest? Putin Putin, you can't hide. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? Putin's not listening to me. Who am I supposed to fucking listen? Wait, what am I supposed to protest Putin for? Oh no, Matt Binder is protesting me in New York City. I got to really quickly evacuate the plans to invade Ukraine. Like, who fucking cares?
Yeah, they don't. Do they? I don't know. I don't know if it's stupidity or they honestly like they don't get the obvious connection where it's the U.S. government is funding this. Their universities are
invested
intertwined.
In arms manufacturers.
They're invested
they are very
in
clear
this.
about their demands. They want them to divest.
People are just purposely not. And I'm saying people like, the media is just purposely not reporting the obvious reasons as to why people are doing this, and just instead deciding to show, or pretending that they're outside agitators. Or there's that one. Eric Adams was like, oh, this lady was there. She's married to a terrorist, and she's like a retired teacher. Her husband was not actually a jury couldn't find any reason to convict him.
Yeah, he was caught up with the Islamophobia in the early 2000s after 9/11, the post 9/11 Islamophobia. The jury couldn't convict him of anything.
He took a terrorist was on campus. What does that mean? Does that mean everyone on campus is Hamas? Like, what? Even if it was true, I don't understand the point.
She didn't commit any crime. She wasn't even there when this happened. She visited for 20 minutes.
Here she is. A retired teacher saw inspiration in Columbia's protests. Eric Adams called her an outside agitator. Look at her. It's just, and she wasn't even there. Like, this is like the day before. She's like just sitting there, like nice, like kindly. She's just like, "Yay, I support human rights."
I mean,
like, these terrorists are there, like outside. She's bringing the chains. Like, so fucking stupid.
This is just openly mainstream racism.
Yes.
I've never, like, I think we've said this before. Like, I don't know what else to say about this. In this country, everyone, left, right, center, it is okay to be racist to Arabs and people you think are Muslim or look Muslim.
It's not just America. Our national newspaper, the National Post, put out a story on Sarah Chandler.
Oh, I saw that.
And in the headline, it was like she'll come back. She'll be back wearing a turban soon or something like that. That was like in the fucking headline of it.
So idiotic, so racist.
They've since had to take it down. Yeah, next she'll be wearing a turban. That's what it was.
I'll make it clear. Obviously, there's racism and anti-Semitism and all sorts of horrible xenophobia against everyone. But there is usually a cohort that says this is the line we don't cross. There is no cohort for that when it comes to people who are perceived to be Muslim or Arab or Middle Eastern. It is A-okay in the West to call them terrorists, to say, oh, they look like this, they look like that. Their language is language you can't say those words in that language.
Or stupid people think they're terrorist adjacent because, like, there's a lot of people in Canada who are sick. They're immigrants from India, and they were persecuted minorities in India as well. They come to Canada and they get treated like it's just like this. If you happen to have like slightly brown skin, all of a sudden it's like, oh, terrorist. Post 9/11 hysteria. Everyone's like, oh, we're better now. No, we're not.
This tweet, by the way, is still up. This tweet's still up.
Yeah.
So it wasn't deleted, but maybe they changed the headline of the story.
It's changed in the article online. I checked today.
They didn't delete the tweet,
but yes, the tweet is still worded the way it is. I do have one addendum to the story that I have to say because I'll be ashamed of myself if I didn't. The person who wrote this is the same person who was washing his body with dog shampoo and only found out it was dog shampoo when he saw the for pets thing in the corner. I don't know if you know the story.
Oh, I forgot about that. Okay,
Here's the link. The link's in the chat, the Streamlabs chat. Yeah, it's that guy.
That makes so much sense.
It's like there's a giant dog on the bottle. I love it so much. He was like, really hard to see the 4 pets type 4-point typeface. I'm guessing this is common. Like, shit, you couldn't torture out of me. He gives it away for free. I love it.
I love that they misused him. So it turns out I've been using dog shampoo in my hair for the last few months. I only discovered it when I ran out and needed to get more. This is partly my own fault, but it doesn't help that Arm & Hammer has the word pets in like 4-point type fonts. It has a dog. What the fuck? I'm guessing this is common. No, it's not common. Are you serious?
What
I bet his
aisle
coat
was-
is beautifful though. After using,
Did you go to
that.
PetSmart to get his shampoo? Like, what aisle was he in? Last I checked, they don't put the human shampoo next to the dog shampoo. It's so stupid.
Of course, this is the same fucking guy.
This is the level of brainiacs we have. That's Canada's largest, or one of, if not the largest, newspaper in Canada. Like to be clear, it's a conservative paper, but it is large. It is a big paper, and that's the kind of shit they're fucking putting out there. Unbelievable.
I mean, I gotta say, that one's pretty bad. But did you guys see that Dana Bash segment over here on CNN?
God, that was so bad.
My God.
And honestly, it took me back to like 2002, 2003. Like, I really felt like, oh my God, I've never felt more. I've always done this thing where, like, oh, if it ever feels like we're getting close to like post 9/11 and the lead up to Afghanistan and the Iraq War, just remember we're not there yet, because social media and there's more of us than them. It's definitely feeling closer than it's felt ever before right now.
Oh, absolutely.
It is
all the
insanity.
paranoia, the racism, the justification for violence towards minorities, all of it is just ramping right back up. It's like, hey, here's a fun game. You all get a free time machine. If you want to know where a bunch of people would have been on different parts of history for, say, like the civil rights movement in the US, you can see that now because they're putting that. They're all broadcasting it on their social medias. Like, everyone right now is like, oh, fucking, it's justified. We have to stop these violent unrests at the university campuses. It's like, these are kids in tents, peacefully protesting in tents, and cops are fucking in some of the schools shooting rubber bullets at them. Like, when you see that footage, I was deeply disgusting.
Did you hear what just came out in New York about Columbia? For the past 2 days, they've been patting themselves in the back, the NYPD, about how well the raid went. Eric Adams saying it was fantastic, perfect, flawless. Just came out today, just about an hour ago. New York AG Alvin Bragg is currently investigating. A cop's gun went off in Hamilton Hall during the Columbia raid.
Yeah, I saw that.
I mean, that is fucking insane.
Mm-hmm.
Could you imagine being a parent, sending your kid to that school and finding this out? That the administration sent in cops who ended up shooting up the school? Heads got to roll for that one. I'm sorry, the whole administration gone, out.
That would be in a sane world, but I have a hard time imagining there's going to be any accountability.
I mean, the hysteria is so overwhelming that, like, the most insignificant, benign thing is now controversial. I have a tweet from Michael Rappaport I wanted to share. He took a picture of, like, a random queer person just minding their own business, but this is controversial because they're wearing a keffiyeh. Like, as if this is some, like, self-loathing queer person. They're wearing a keffiyeh, and if only this person knew that the barbaric Gazans would, like, tackle them if they saw them. Like, it's racism and homophobia. Yeah, that's the implication here. It's so despicable. And I've seen, like, especially lately, comments under my videos. It's like, oh, it's funny that this cocksucker is defending these Palestinians. They would murder him. It's like, do you not understand that there are actually queer people in Palestine? Is that mind-blowing to you or
not? Who are getting bombed to death. I'm pretty sure that kills you, right? Like, I'm sure they would like to have more freedom. And it would be awesome if they were super, super woke as fucking Palestine. But that doesn't change the fact that, like, they're being actively genocided. That should also change your own resolve. You're like, oh, so the genocide's okay then, because they don't like the gays as much as I do. All right.
Yeah, I mean, who thinks that way? First of all, queer people are, I think, like, I don't know what the data is, but they're likely to support Palestine because when you're in this position where you're oppressed, you're going to side with the oppressed. Like, you have more empathy, I think, because of that. And that's the case with me as well. But, if somebody is hateful of me and homophobic, I don't think that they should be carpet bombed and starved and ethnic cleansed, right? Like, I have homophobic family members, and my response wouldn't be, oh my God, thank God they're dead if they got bombed. That's psycho. Like, I'm a normal person, which is why I don't respond to that. Yeah, right? It's just, it's so frustrating to me because the way that they, like, this really is like post 9/11 style Islamophobia, where they are portrayed as barbarians. Anyone who would dare empathize with them, they're seen as terrorist sympathizers. It is overt racism. And I I don't remember it being this bad since I was a kid. Part of that is privilege because I'm not a brown guy who had to live in America post 9/11. But it's so disheartening to see how like overt the racism has become.
Every time
not
me
just
and
like
my
in
friend
circles,
Dave-
but on media.
Every time me and my friend Dave post 9/11 would travel to the US, every single time he would be stopped for a random security check. He's brown, by the way, but every single fucking time. And the only one they would single him out, even like Asian friends, nope. Black friends, nope. Him. Every single time. Just random security checks, sir. And it's like funny how it's always the same person. But yeah, random.
It's and it's just normalized. That's the thing that's really frustrating. There's not any pushback, no concern whatsoever about Islamophobia. It's so normal now, and if not socially encouraged, and you have lawmakers doing the same thing, you have media pundits doing the same thing, and in this environment, it's so toxic.
Yeah, it's fucked. You know, I think maybe the only good news to come out of this is that one thing that we didn't plan on, or I guess maybe the administration didn't plan on, is that this like proliferation of social media and addiction to it, untethered by the way, they're just kind of like, well, let the AI and the algorithms play with people's brains and we'll see how that goes. They weren't expecting this like unfettered ability to have an access to information to be able to debunk all this shit in real time. Like I'm seeing people on one end, the story comes out, and then in a couple fucking minutes, I see Binder's on the case, and then all of a sudden, boom, all the tweet threads start popping up, right? And you start seeing all this shit, and it's like, yeah, holy shit, people don't have to buy the lies, right? Like, but they still do it. You still do have the cops with the chains and all that fucked up shit.
Yeah, I almost have like, I wouldn't say empathy, but like some understanding as to how people got brainwashed during 9/11, because there wasn't as easy access to information to debunk all the garbage that they were being told. But now there's no excuse. Like if you're on the wrong side now, then it's your fault, because all the information is there. All the debunking is right at your hands. It's all very clear. And it's just, it's obvious. Like this is I would say the one difference now compared to back then is that I feel like we're just a lot better informed now. And there is less of this brainwashing. And, you know, still there's going to, of course,
well, we can see it too, right? You never used to get on the ground footage of dead babies every day. But like now we do. And now you see it. And now like when you do, you can't unsee it. And people understandably get mad. And so students want to protest. And if they do that, then the cops crack skulls.
Yeah.
And they're violent for occupying buildings, apparently, which that's new to me because that's literally civil disobedience. This is exactly what their predecessors did during the Vietnam War, during South African apartheid. I mean, if anything, they were
that's
much
still on the
more
Columbia
violent
website
before. Yeah.
It's like the greatest shame the university ever experienced.
Yeah. I don't know if you all saw it. There was actually a really great professor. I think it was from Columbia. Defending these students, and everything he said was so perfect. I'm actually going to try to find the clip because I think that things like this are really important. Because if you just consume nothing but the lies and the brain rot, it's gonna melt your brain. Let me try to find that. It was so good. I hope I bookmarked it.
It's gotta be very quiet.
Here we go. It was posted by Steven Donzinger. Let me see. Copy and paste.
By the way, if you guys want later, I could play some of that Dana Bash thing. I just don't know if we want to melt our brains again.
If you want,
I wouldn't mind seeing it.
Play it, and then I'll give us the palate cleanser. I haven't watched all of it, but
I began. I'm like, this is enough for me.
It was so bad.
I watched it. It was.
We also got to play at some point Cornel West like unloading onto Piers Morgan.
Yes, I got that.
Oh, I missed that. Too. I didn't see that one.
Awesome.
That's recent. I got that too.
Yeah, it just came up today.
We
called him a racist. The worst thing you can call a white person.
College campuses across the country. This was the scene just a short while ago at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Police clashing with protesters. 12 people were arrested. Hours earlier, protests rocked the University of Arizona, where campus police used chemical irritant munitions to remove protesters.
All the footage is showing the
Around
police
same
basically
time at
accelerating or
UCLA,
instigating violence, though,
Israel
even in
and
the spin.
Pro-Palestinian groups were attacking each other, hurling all kinds of objects, a wood pallet, fireworks, parking cones, even a scooter. And before that,
only one side through all that stuff,
right?
Yeah. Interestingly, that wasn't mentioned there.
God, she's such a bad propagandist.
Protesters barricaded themselves inside a campus building. 300 people were arrested at Columbia and City College of New York. But it is unclear how many were actually students. New York City Mayor Eric Adams warned this morning that professional outside agitators are getting involved.
Wasn't just 2 outside agitators arrested? Isn't that what he admitted?
They got new 2 leaders. Who was one of them was that woman who was the wife of a terrorist who wasn't the wife of a terrorist, and then there was another 60-plus-year-old woman who was just some like longtime activist who was invited to do like a sit-in discussion during one of the days. Who was also not there the day.
The way they stretch the truth.
Yeah. Now though they're finessing the numbers to throw in City College too, even though the claim was always that they said Columbia was taken over by outside agitators who had no affiliation with the school. They're throwing in the City College numbers, which is a public university, and also they're counting people who were arrested on the street, who were not on the campus, but they were there that night supporting the protesters from outside the campus, but they got arrested, so they're throwing those numbers in there. It's just ridiculous.
And I'm not going to wait until it's done and all of a sudden acknowledge the existence of it. This is a global problem that young people are being influenced by those who are professionals at radicalizing our
so
children.
Stupid.
And I'm not going to allow that to happen as the mayor of the city of New York.
Many of these protests started peacefully with
Hey, who shot those fireworks?
About the war, but in many cases, they lost the plot. They're calling for a ceasefire.
Fuck off, Dana.
Well, there was a ceasefire on October 6th, the day before
They lost
Hamas
the plot.
terrorists-
Wow, she's playing all the hits.
Oh my! That has
see
been
that part.
debunked so many times. There have the amount of attacks. Like, there's story after story. Like throughout early October, like I think it was like October 5th or 4th. Israel was attacking Palestinians both in the West Bank and in Gaza. Throughout September, they were doing so as well. What ceasefire are you fucking talking about? Absolute fucking bullshit.
Also, she says, but also she says they started out legitimate, and then they lost the plot. And what is her example for that? Like the main thing everyone asks for, a ceasefire. Like, how is that losing the plot? That is like the core. There's two things these protesters want. There's 2 things these student protesters want. Well, a few of them have a bigger list, but on every list I've seen, there's 2 main things. The ceasefire, but that's just like what they want, but they know they have no power there. That's not why they're actually at their school doing it. The main thing they want is they want their school to divest from these arms manufacturers who are supplying Israel with these weapons that are being used to kill innocent Palestinians in Gaza. That's like those are the 2 core things. So to be like, oh, they're calling for a ceasefire. Whoa, these pro-Palestinian protesters lost the plot. What? Like what?
More than 1,000 people inside Israel and took hundreds more as hostages. This hour, I'll speak to an American-Israeli family whose son is still held captive by Hamas since that horrifying day that brought us to this moment. You don't hear the pro-Palestinian protesters talking about that. We will.
You don't hear the media talking about 14,000 dead children. I hate her. Oh my God. Losing my mind.
Prime Minister is prosecuting the retaliatory
All right, no,
war
it's
against
she's
Hamas.
right. I'm gonna dig a tunnel from the bottom of my house. I'm gonna find the Hamas tunnels. I'm sure they've extended it to America by now. I've heard they were working on it, according to Israel. I'm gonna get down there, and once I see Hamas, I'm gonna start going, what do we want? Release the hostages. When do we want it now? Like, what is it? Like, I don't get what she wants. Of course, Hamas should release the hostages. There should be a ceasefire. Hostages should be released. I don't want to see any civilians involved in this whatsoever. But we don't have any say. We don't have anything to hold Hamas accountable for. I have no power over Hamas. I can occupy a school that I attend as a student to try to force the hand of the administration. That's why I do that. Like,
also,
that's why I take the streets to tell my government to stop aiding and abetting Israel in bombing Gaza. I can't I can't go there's no Hamas doesn't have an embassy in DC I can drive to. And I can be like, release the hostages. Like, it's super fucking simple.
It's also worth mentioning there have been ceasefire deals on the table that Netanyahu is the one that has shut them down. He's the one that does not want an end to this.
Oh, absolutely.
There was back at
the last negotiation.
I was going to say the families of the hostages back in January, they came in to the Knesset and were protesting Netanyahu because they wanted him to take the deal and he wouldn't take it. Like, this is the shit that people don't hear.
And apparently in the last negotiation, and this is kind of fucked up, in that they revealed that they don't have as many hostages in the categories that were being asked for the terms of the trade, such as children, the elderly, stuff like that. Like, they're running out of living hostages because they're getting bombed to death.
And it's also
expected would happen.
Right. It's worth noting also that people like Dana Bash, who purports to care about hostages, has said nothing about the Palestinians being held hostage by Israel.
Thousands.
I believe, thousands of people. There's been reports of misconduct with regard to like torture and shit like that. No, just not a peep from them about this, but they care about human rights.
Or the sexual assault of children. That's another one. There's like lots and lots of kids that have been detained without any fair due process or justice, and then there's rampant reports of sexual abuse of children as well. That's all fucked up, right? Like that is. I hate.
She doesn't care
sides.
though.
Like you cannot like even the Piers Morgans of the world who are trying to both sides of this. Like, oh, I bring on people from the left and I bring on people from the right to talk about this. You can't both sides of genocide.
No.
Like, it's just like
they'll throw out.
It's grotesque.
They'll throw out that all those Palestinian prisoners are there because they're criminals or terrorists or something, even though they're like a bunch of kids. That's not, but of course, when they say release the hostages, they throw in the IDF soldiers as like innocent civilians who should be, who should be part of that deal or whatever, who shouldn't be there. I'm sorry, like my problem with Hamas is that they went after innocent civilians. I think that's wrong no matter what. But in a war, in an occupation, in a blockade, they're allowed to go after the military that's putting their boot on their neck. I'm sorry.
Those are enemy combatants.
Yes.
Hamas is one thing. Making Jewish students feel unsafe at their own schools is unacceptable, and it is happening.
What about the cops that make the Jewish protesters feel unsafe? Does she care at all about that?
Or even there was a giant even the
group
protesters
of people.
generally. Like there really is this complete otherizing of like, how about the Palestinians on campus?
Right.
Do they feel safe? Like they don't exist?
Yeah, they don't care.
Arab Americans, Muslim Americans, do they feel safe on campus?
I deserve to go here. We pay tuition. This is our school. And they're not letting
This guy's already been outed as a regular agitator. He wasn't trying to go to class. He's been trying to bother the protests nonstop. They were just keeping him away so it would not escalate.
Again, what you just saw.
Oh my
and
God.
those types of people, what they do is they'll pretend as if they're so outraged because of what the protesters are doing. They just don't agree with the protesters. Like currently at my university that I graduated from at PSU, they've taken over the library and they've renamed Miller Library to Rafat Al-Arir Library. And then you have people screeching about that on Facebook saying, oh my God, we can't even use the library that we're paying for. It's like, first of all, nobody uses the library. I was like one of the 3 people in the fucking library all the time. Nobody uses the library, so shut the fuck up. Second of all, like you're just clutching your pearls because you don't agree with them. They are peacefully protesting because they want their university to divest from Israel. And you can't be honest. Like they are incapable of engaging in good faith with anything that these protesters have to say, with anything that anyone who's anti-genocide has to say. And I'm so sick of it.
Yeah.
Or in Los Angeles, harkening back to the 1930s in Europe. And I do not say that lightly. The fear among Jews in this country is palpable right now.
Yes, you do. It couldn't be lighter.
The anti-genocide protesters are like the Nazis. Shut the fuck up, Dana.
There are so many Jewish people
to the
within those
Holocaust
protests
with students. Like that's ridiculous.
A lot of these protests are like they're partially led by Jewish groups, like Jewish Voice for Peace, Independent Jewish Voice. Like these, this is
so
of
it
course
turns out
completely
they were
lost
right.
in all
By the
this.
way, there was a dissent of a whole bunch of violent and racist people who were attacking Jewish students, cops, police.
Yeah.
You saw it,
and the pro-Israel counter-protesters at UCLA, who were throwing fireworks at them and attacking
boards.
them. Yeah,
and
hitting them with boards and bars.
Also, it was pro-Israel protesters who were doing the terrible chants of "kill the Jews" and other stuff that was uncovered by the Daily Beast, and luckily people took footage of it. Otherwise, boom,
I forgot
right there.
about that.
Yeah, someone on one of the campuses was asking for the death of the Jews. That happened. It was like, it was a pro-Israeli protester who was saying, "Come on, everyone, right? Kill the Jews."
And they shut down. They had the cops shut down. They had the cops shut down the encampment and the protest because they claimed that people were chanting "death to Jews," and when it came out, it was a pro-Israel protester trying to.
Who was, by the way, kicked out of the protest by the other protesters.
Yeah, they booed him when he said that. They denounced him right then and there.
And then when a journalist, I forgot who, but a journalist reached out to the school to say like, "Hey, you ended the encampment. You attacked these protesters. You went after these protesters. When we have it on video now that it was the pro-Israel agitators who were chanting that." And the school wrote back, their official PR person wrote back something like, "Aha! So you don't deny it was said. Well, I don't care what the context is. It has no place," as if that was the point, as if they were trying to say like, "Oh, it's okay because it was a pro." No, the point was the pro-Israel protesters were doing it and you guys blamed the pro-Palestine protesters.
I mean, it was said. It doesn't matter who said it or why. Someone said it. So crack the skulls. Send them in. The skull crackers are here.
I mean, why wouldn't these agitators just show up to every single protest after that and just do that to shut down every single one? I mean, if it's that simple, it really is, honestly.
Okay,
here's the. Oh, sorry. You want to go?
Oh, I was gonna say I do have a palate cleanser, a speech from a professor. Steven Donziger shared it. Do you want to watch this first and then get to that? Because this is going to be better to like close it off with. I think
we'll end with the palate cleanser.
Okay.
So this is I mean, you know what this is. Piers Morgan, who does things for clicks, and
this was fucking great.
Let's be really clear. Piers Morgan has been both sides in this so much and wants like credit for it all the time.
Oh, he loves it.
Like he brings people on, and then he'll be like, I talked to both sides. I just want to know whether or not he has been consistently vilifying any pro-Palestinian voice that comes on, demanding they like condemn Hamas. Like, do you condemn Hamas? Do you condemn Hamas? And then never says like, do you condemn Israel? Do you condemn the actions of the IDF? Do you like? There's none of that. It's always just like October 7th was really bad. Can we please acknowledge how bad October 7th was? Can we acknowledge how evil Hamas is and that they murdered and slaughtered people, that they are raping women? Can we talk about that? And so then when he finally got called out here, the reason I think this is so beautiful is someone finally had to say, there's a reason why you are okay with both sides in this, and it's fucking racism. It's because you don't value Palestinian lives in the same way you do Israeli lives. And because of that, you're fine of just like treating them like a number. Like, oh, 15,000 dead kids, 20,000 dead kids, 25,000 dead kids. Yeah, unfortunate for sure. Wish it didn't happen. But, you know, we got to talk about the broken glass. What about the broken glass that happened at the campus?
You have people, and we've seen pictures of them inside and outside campus, who appear to be supporting Hamas rhetoric, who are wearing maybe insignia relating to Hamas or Hezbollah or whatever.
Yeah.
If you're brazenly supporting organizations, groups of people that are deemed to be terrorists by large swathes of the world, does that cross the line?
This is utter nonsense, Piers. Can I just answer the question?
Okay, check. Yep.
You got genocide taking place. You got IDF terrorism taking place. You can't say a mumbling word about 12 universities that have been leveled to the ground. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of professors have been killed. Students have been killed. You're a journalist.
Yes.
Have you talked about the 112 journalists who have been killed, brother?
Yes, I have done.
You just spread lies.
Well, hang on. Well, Cornel,
he tweeted about it, by the way.
Cornel, hang on. Cornel.
You're unfair.
Cornel.
And then you just start lying. You start lying, man. It's ridiculous.
Cornel,
man.
I'm not lying about anything.
No, you are. I agree with Cornel West completely. You're totally, utterly lying through your framing. The framing of this is a total, complete lie.
Look, I can't hear you both speak at the same time. Cornel, just to be clear, I have posted... Sorry, hang on.
Please.
Hang on. I have posted about the journalists who've died in Gaza, right? I have posted about this. I have highlighted the deaths of those journalists, right?
Put it in the framework.
Well, I'm going to. I was going to come to you about the framework.
No, you're not.
I'm sure.
All the journalism about one hall.
So
you
good.
hardly can say a mumbling word about universities, libraries gone. completely? Schoolrooms gone completely? You see how truncated and narrow your framework is? You're just lying, man. You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Okay. When you say lying, what
So
you're trying to
good.
imply that I don't care about the other stuff you've just
Yes,
mentioned.
that's what I'm
But
saying.
that's not a lie.
That's definitely right.
Well,
Yeah,
not
okay.
have the same value as an Israeli life. That's
Okay.
what I'm saying.
Okay, let me
I'm
bring in
saying
Cenk.
you're racist.
Let me bring in
Saying
Cenk
you're a
here.
racist, man.
Let me bring in.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, let me bring in. You have people.
So you can only upload 2 minutes worth, but later on when they're talking, like he finally, I guess he didn't hear him say racist at that point because he gets so offended. Like literally the worst thing you can call a white person. All of a sudden, how dare you? I am not racist. I am not. Shame on you. Shame on you. You know, with the hard cis, how could you say that? Like
He says shame on you? Does he say
yeah,
that?
he says shame on you to Cornel West.
He also
times.
says,
Yeah.
"I'm sitting here and you're screaming genocide, support at me, and it's just not acceptable." Terrible British voice, but I have a video about this coming out tomorrow, and it was so good because both Cenk and Cornel flipped the tactics that Piers uses on the pro-Palestinian people on him, and basically got him to inadvertently admit that he was racist because they're like, okay. Do you condemn the pro-Israel agitators? Piers would not, because he's like, oh, well, I have to do my research. It just happened last night. And then Cornel asks him, do you condemn the IDF as a terrorist organization? He said, no, I don't think that they're a terrorist organization. So like, okay, well, then you're a racist, because if Hamas is terrorist for killing people, why is the IDF not terrorist for killing exponentially much more people? And he was apoplectic because they wouldn't let him get his talking points out, and it was so good. At the beginning of that clip, Piers is actually talking to that woman there with the glasses. I don't know her name, but Cornel West and Cenk had to butt in because at that point in the interview, it was like 15, 20 minutes, and it was just this huge, long setup of nothing but bullshit, spewing the same stuff that we've heard, you know, from Dana Bash and others like that. So, yeah, that was amazing. Credit to Cenk and Cornel. I have my criticisms of Cenk, but goddamn, he fucking crushed it and deserves a lot of credit for that. It was so good. Same with Cornel. Absolutely crushed it.
I actually think Cenk dropped the ball here. Because I mean he's running against Cornel West and he was just agreeing with him. He should have been going after Cornel West. So
Is that still a thing? Are they both still running?
I know.
I mean, I know Cornel West is. I don't know about.
I don't think Cenk's still doing anything, is he?
Yeah, I'm not really
Cenk also hasn't dropped out, or at least I haven't heard him drop out.
Yeah, I honestly don't know.
That's not as bad as
I
Marianne
thought
Williamson, who dropped out
he
and then
did?
went
I don't
back in and then dropped out and then went back in again.
Is she still in?
Her campaign's still active. She reactivated it.
I can't even follow this shit. Like, I don't even know what. Okay.
Oh wait, I'm being told that Cenk has dropped out. He
has. Okay.
Yeah, I thought he did. Okay. Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Someone said Tommy says Cenk.
Oh
wait, where'd it go? Cenk suspended after California primary, I think. Well, it's a good thing he took it to the California primary. You never knew what could happen there.
Okay, move some books.
All right, I gotta play this video for you all. It is the palate cleanser that we need. This is by the way, Rashid Khalidi. This is the author of really great books about the Middle East and Palestine. He's Palestinian himself. He talks about his experience in Lebanon when Israel was bombing them. Can't recommend this enough, but let me go ahead and play it.
My name is Rashid Khalidi. I'm the Edward Said Professor of Modern Arab Studies at Columbia University. I've been teaching here for a total of 22 years. When I was a student back in the 60s, we were told we were led by a bunch of outside agitators, by politicians nobody remembers the name of today. We were the conscience of this nation when we opposed the Vietnam War and racism. Back in 1968 and 1969 and 1970, the Vietnam War stopped because the people opposed it. And the people who led that were students. And the students who led that were here at Columbia and at Berkeley and a few other campuses on this fair Turtle Island. Students have been on the right side of history at Columbia and at other universities ever since the 1960s. We today honor the students who in 1968 opposed a genocidal, illegal, shameful war. Columbia University honors them. They're on the Columbia website. You can check it out yourself. 1968 is commemorated. One day, what our students did here will be commemorated in the same way. Yeah!
True.
They are and they were on the right side of history. And that will go down in history. That when the change finally came, and finally the American people who have already opposed this war, who've already opposed this genocide, are able to force their craven politicians to stop it, which we can do. The United States is part of this war. Every plane bombing Gaza is an American plane, F-16s, F-15s, F-35s. Every helicopter, Apache, is American. Every bomb drop is American. Those are our taxes. Those are our representatives. Shame on them. And shame on the administration of this university. They will go down in infamy for having done what they did the other night. Today, nobody remembers the names of the administrators and the trustees who ordered the police onto the Columbia campus on 1968. They have gone down in ignominy. So will these leaders, President Shafee and the Board of Trustees. And the students will be remembered one day on a Columbia website as the people who helped change the course of this country. Together with the brave students up at CCNY, we should shout out to them. Together with the students at NYU, FIT, all over this country. What we are witnessing in terms of police repression is a tiny fraction of what people under occupation in Palestine have been experiencing for 56 years. The kettling, the checkpoints, the blockades, the police dragging students out. Many of them were injured last night. The lies, outside agitators. Wait until the numbers come out from one police plaza. They were all students. They were our students. And we are ashamed of our university for, instead of continuing the negotiations that many faculty were happy to be part of, decided to bring in the NYPD. This administration has brought disgrace on Columbia University. Shame on them. Shame on them. This is not and was not about safety and comfort, which is what they claim. Do we feel safer today that 100 more students have been processed down at one police plaza? Do we feel safer today that faculty and students cannot get onto their own campus? Of course not. This was a craven capitulation to external pressure. The students didn't want it. The faculty didn't want it. Outside forces wanted it. The politicians, the media, which has shamefully failed to report so much of what's actually happening here.
Shame.
And which has exaggerated incidents instead of looking at the whole picture. I don't want to talk more about the media. This is not about safety and comfort. This is about the moral issue. This is not about safety and comfort. This is about a genocide being carried on with American money and with American weapons against a people that has been living under occupation for generation after generation after generation. That's what it's really about. That's what the students were about, and that's what faculty and staff for Justice in Palestine are about.
Why are your supporters trying to block that?
We are faculty and staff who believe that our students should be safe. All of our students should be safe. But the right to protest, the right to free speech, and academic freedom, which is being infringed as we speak, university protocols, the arrangements that this university made since 1968 to deal with these things have been swept aside in an arbitrary fashion by this administration in response to external pressures. Shame on this university. Shame. I repeat one more time. This is not about Columbia or CCNY or Berkeley or UCLA or any other place where the students have risen up. This is the conscience of a nation speaking through your kids, through young people who are risking their futures, who are risking suspension, expulsion, criminal arrest in order to wake people up in this country. It's absolutely essential. Public opinion's already with us. It's just the politicians, the media, and the trustees and administration of this university who are blind, deaf, and dumb to the demand of a moral imperative coming from our students. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
Yeah.
Hey,
Rebecca, welcome.
Well, I'm about to say welcome to y'all. See, God, that was great though. I was listening to the speech, and that was really good. How y'all doing?
Pretty good.
We missed you.
Right.
Yeah, we missed you. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing good. Went to see my family, and because I just needed to go see my family, and just spent some days there, and then I'm back. So yeah, I missed y'all though.
Yeah,
I will say I think you're wrong. Mic is on.
Oh, Okay.
It sounds like computer mic.
Wasn't plugged. Let's try.
Oh, all the chats just lit up.
All the
Oh yeah, wow.
Yeah, they're all like, Rebecca,
look at the love for Rebecca.
Needed some happiness.
All right, the mic
There
is
we
back,
go.
but yes.
Oh, there we
yeah.
go.
Oh, that's good.
No, but that speech was great though. I'm glad that one of the professors were speaking up in that type of way. So that was good to see here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Yeah,
I wanted
again-
to quickly say this before I forget. The two Canadian encampments that have started, one of them is at UBC. They're refusing to meet with the administration. They're so metal. They're saying that they're only going to negotiate with members of the Musqueam band, who are the rightful owners to the land title. So they're not even going to negotiate with the university. I was like, damn, they're going hard right out the gates. Similar to the one in McGill. At McGill University, they wanted to the cops to come in the way you're seeing it happen in the US. And then the Mohawk Nation, that technically does own the land title to that university, said the students are allowed to be there. And now there's this whole thing where, like in Canada, they take those things a little bit more seriously because they just don't want the optics of going against the band in this case. So apparently they're not calling in the cops, so that's good news there so far, because the cops said no crimes have been committed. So yeah,
good.
Yeah,
shout out to all of the protesters. I think that they're bold, courageous, and even though you're
brave,
sad,
beautiful,
you're sad right now to see everyone demonize you in the media and politicians. 10 years from now, 20 years from now, they're going to look back just as we all look back at the Vietnam Wars and the anti-apartheid protests. You all are
the
heroes.
civil rights movement,
right.
or feminist movements. Like, who was on the other side of that? Like now, like I said, now you get to see every single person what they would have done at that moment in history. They're showing you their ass in tweets. Like they're showing you what they would have done.
I will say though, Lance, you call them beautiful. Well, Megyn Kelly has something to say about that. Here's a
That's a good segue.
Oh my God.
That's a good segue.
that really is, David. Damn.
No,
Why are they so unattractive?
I would just like to debunk Lance's misinformation. They're in fact butt ugly.
A lot of fun.
And by the way, why are they so unattractive? I really legitimately want to know. Why are all the protesters so homely? I don't think they're unconnected. I'm not going to lie. I think attractive, smart people are not drawn to this nonsense. They're living their lives being successful. It's the unattractive and or dumb people who feel the need to do this to feel like they matter. Sorry.
I'm sorry, is she 9 years old?
When
This is
did
like,
that
you're
get
ugly.
like
Like,
this?
what?
she's actually a 53-year-old woman commenting on the attractiveness of teenagers. That's what she is.
What the
She's
fuck?
fucking
Wait,
weird.
hold on. When did she start looking like this? I haven't seen her in a long, long time.
I
But
think she
when
was
did
like
she start looking
a
like
web
this?
show now or something. I don't know.
What? The times is gone. Like
She was
that's
fired
crazy.
again and again, and then ended up here.
Time's been a motherfucker to some people, especially the evil ones.
When you're nasty, there's a lot of work done. She's not moving, not
Absolutely.
anything on her face. Calling kids unattractive.
Well, I just thought that was the video player, but now I've learned.
Like, are we
could I-
serious? This is like she really called children unattractive and saying that they just want to be seen.
It's so petty. It's so petty.
Could I also
We should
point
change our
out that,
podcast.
like,
We should change our podcast name to The Uglies. That's what we should be.
The ugly mafia.
Bring that
They
up
don't know
for a
what's
second.
lie when they
Bring that back up for a second. Bring that
Yeah,
back up for
sure.
just 1 second. I just want to
Sure.
point out that, like, when a leftist hears a really salient point made online, someone really breaking down an issue, going through a policy in a way that maybe other people haven't looked at before, breaking down history and the historical connections to current movements, and someone goes like, man, check out this thread, they nailed it. For a conservative, all you got to do to get a Megyn Kelly nails it is, why are they so unattractive? Why are the protesters so homely? Like, Megyn Kelly nails it. Like, what did she nail?
Uggos.
Salient point. You're ugly. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, it's representative of the
Nailed it.
intellect that conservatives are capable of. That's it. Just like, oh, really? You're protesting? Well, you're ugly. Okay.
I don't
Also,
like, that
like,
Craig,
all
you
their
guys
faces are
infiltrated.
covered. What are you even seeing? Like, how
they're
are you even judging
children.
anything?
They are kids.
and their children.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
what are you? What kind of weirdness is that?
And you're in your 50s.
The other one was what they said.
So
Why are they so
bizarre.
unattractive and why are they so homely? So I've never really like. word. I've never used homely, but I know that also means unattractive. I don't know why homely. I don't know why that would mean that. Like,
That's an
but
old timey saying, I think.
It
yeah.
is.
So that's
Yeah.
so vintage. First of all, these old people have taken to Twitter to use their fingers to call children, and what they're doing. Just because you don't agree with something, I mean, have better words for that. Like or like fight back.
Yeah,
with
have
something else.
have an argument.
There was no argument. You've grown. You've worked in media for a long time. I haven't seen that lady in a long time. But you worked in media. I feel like you know how to, like, there had to be something in that monologue. You gave us this, that they're so unattractive, but they want to be seen in it forever. And that's like, this is what you're giving. And then, like you guys were saying, we're gonna.
She doesn't care about that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure she does until this stuff starts biting all these people in the behinds.
We still remember.
We can only hope that's going to happen.
We still remember her saying that Santa was definitely white. He's not black. Do you remember that weird little tantrum she had?
Not to mention all the people that sold
blackface
everybody on the
in some
Iraq
other
War
weird
are
shit,
still on television, still, in positions of power. Like, it's unfortunately, it appears, at least the past 30 years, nothing has bitten anybody in the ass that has any power.
Her children's children, look, her children's children may be affected by this. Like those people that we see in those 50s old videos. We're like, yeah, now that's your grandmama there. Like, now we know your grandmama. He was the one walking down the street with the rock, walking with your grandmama. So yeah. Hopefully, I don't like that though. Go ahead.
Well, I'm losing my mind watching every day on the news, seeing the police not going after war criminals, but instead going after kids. You know? Arresting kids, beating kids up, shooting kids, fucking tasering kids, spraying kids with chemicals, just fucking up kids. It's just wild, and people just like, I guess, accepting it.
Yeah,
I guess it's just like and just like, okay. That's just what's gonna happen. Peacefully protesting in a tent, are ya? Glass them all. Fucking crack them skulls. Get in there.
I was really sad to see. So I looked at the page for PSU, my alma mater, and a bunch of people just like, oh my God, send the cops in, bust up these protests. Any alum that's helping, revoke their degrees. Like, they want blood. Like, they want the skulls to get cracked by the cops. It's so ridiculous. I mean, a lot of this is they're being egged on by folks like Andy No and by the media as well. But I mean, we're all adults here. If your reaction to a justified rage by these protesters is that you want their skulls to be cracked, you're a shitty person. Fuck you. Like, you're just a bad person. I'm sorry. And you're going to really look stupid and feel stupid 10 years from now when everybody pretends like they were in support of this.
Have you been following Andy? Has he been doing the whole like milkshake, concrete, silicone rod struck me in the face as the dildo was thrown by Antifa kind of stuff?
He hasn't done that, but he's been to PSU and his video, he's just showing it. Like, it just looks like any other encampment, right? And there's graffiti on like the windows of Miller Library. Who gives a fuck?
Oh
but,
my
like,
God. Look at this graffiti.
Ignore
the tens of thousands of dead civilians. Look at this graffiti.
But if you look at what he's saying, he's yearning for Portland police to come in and just crack some skulls. But he's like, I really don't think that there's going to be enough cops to be able to take all of this down.
You got to do a fake British accent when you do it, Andy No.
Oh, right. I forgot about that. Yeah. He's such a dishonest bastard. I hate this, that like people, it's the dishonesty is driving me nuts. Like, it really feels like I'm being gaslit 24/7.
Yeah. Like when it comes to those people, I don't need to know what Andy No's doing. I don't need to follow. Like, he's not on my timeline. I don't gotta fucking see that garbage.
He's a dangerous guy.
He's a fascist. He's a fascist propagandist and a liar. But he's a crybaby.
And a
cries
pick-me.
victim. Yeah, and a pick-me. I hate him. Like, what a piece of shit. But I don't know if you all are ready for some more lighthearted content.
Oh shit, are we doing Citygate?
I really wanted to wait until Rebecca got here before we started talking about
it.
I'm like, who's Citygate? What happened?
Okay. Rebecca and David, and I don't know if Matt probably has heard of this, but I'm curious to get Rebecca and David's reactions to this. Yeah, so let me share this.
Video game shit. I fucking know video game shit. You know,
I don't.
Well, I do too.
No.
But this
You don't need to know anything about video games for this story to entertain and amaze you, because like what will blow your mind more than anything, how all this fucked up shit's going on around the world. We're talking about these protests, the students getting beat up, police violence, corruption. Some people have dedicated all of their time to this cause, which is all about titties and not getting
Why are you guys? You guys are so immature.
Specifically, 72,120 people.
72,000? No, it just passed 50 last time I looked.
Hold on, I gotta know. What was that sound effect? I need to know.
I used it today in my video when I was talking about the husband of that lady who was the agitator, and I said his name because it sounds scary. It was like Samir Al-Aran. Like, that's why you got to be scared of him.
What is it? I need to download that. It's too funny.
I love it.
I could try to send it to you. It's off the Roadcaster. I don't know where it came from, but it was already on here.
You gotta send it to me.
Yeah, I can send it to you. It's a great sound effect.
Okay, so this is one of the most important causes that I've ever seen, defended by Asmongold, so you know it's important. And basically, I'm going to let this individual explain it. So this is Mark Kern, known as Grubs on Twitter. I believe he's basically the libs of TikTok, but for gamers. And he's going to explain...
Well, that's good.
I didn't come up with it, but I can't give credit to who said that because I don't remember who said it. But credit to that person, if you're out there, thank you, is very, very poignant. So they say Stellar Blade is a phenomenal new game that just launched on PlayStation 5 worldwide, but it has a problem. Hit that soundbite one more time, David. Content has been censored from the original trailer version posted by Sony. We, as gamers, want this content back. We relied on it. We made the game the #1 pre-order worldwide because of it. And this is the true game we want, okay? We're going to tell you what they want in a moment. Stellar Blade is more than a game, okay? It has become a cultural beacon for freedom of expression in a time where game publishers like Sony are censoring games more than ever. Stellar Blade was a breath of fresh air, and gamers rallied behind it because it meant things were changing, getting better, and the voice of creative freedom was ringing loud and clear. But for reasons unknown...
This sounds like there needs to be like remember the opening of Zack Snyder's The Watchmen, where it's like they had the Bob Dylan song playing behind it. We need this video game with like the times they are changing.
Children. By the way, Rebecca, I just want to say a hashtag not all gamers. All right, I know you're about to be reviled, disgusted, and confused, and all that's about to happen.
In fact,
these
are not
what they took
most.
from some weirdos on the internet.
Are we going to show those clips? By the way,
I gotta push back a little bit. I do think that if you are someone who considers your identity to be a gamer, this is quite representative of gamers.
I consider myself to be a gamer, and I am.
No, because that's. But everyone plays games. It's like oh, I'm a movie watcher. I'm a TV consumer. But that's someone who's super into specific, like if you want to be like you're a horror game person or whatever, or you're really into like a specific type, then call yourself that. Like there's no one who's just like, I'm a eater. I eat. I mean, it's just like a basic thing.
Eater is another word. But is content here equal to boobs?
Okay, we have to show.
Yeah, you have to explain it.
We have to show Rebecca what they took from you. You know what we lost in this war. Okay, what we could have had, and then what we were given instead. AKA,
Lance, do you have the thread? Because I still actually haven't been able. I've seen it, but I haven't been able to grasp what exactly they changed from the original content.
It's literally 25% of titty skin. I'm not even fucking kidding.
Here,
it's
I'll find
25% of and I
saw a great
to be
image
clear
of the
here.
comparison.
This is in the this character. It's an alternative costume, so you can change the costumes of the character. It's not about the default costume. It's about the 7th costume you can have has 25% less cleavage, less titty skin, and that's what they're.
So we're getting less cleavage. And for that reason, people are speaking out. Brave individuals, like this individual named Mike. I've seen this video too many times.
Hello, my name is Michael Lyon, and I bought a PS5 because I wanted to play Stellar Blade. I was promised that this game would be no censorship, unedited, unraw, just a great, amazing, even a Game of the Year contender. I think that it's not fair and okay that Sony has decided to censor the game, especially right at the release date. I think that's false advertising. I think that's not fair to the developer shift up.
I agree. Thank you, King. One more.
They're giving the shit away
What's
for
good,
free.
y'all?
That's
This is
all I
your
can
boy
say.
Will Too Humble here. Man,
We can see
how
who you
about
are.
y'all take the
Finally found
censorship off? Man, it is freaking ridiculous, man.
Hang on. Take that mask off, liberal. Okay, continue.
Let the people play the game that they spent
Well,
$70
he
to
keeps
$100
pause for a second. He
on.
keeps the.
I just don't get.
He keeps the mask
All right, I
on
found
because
it.
much
It's in the chat.
much.
I got it.
He keeps the
Yeah.
he keeps the mask on because
Finally
much
get to
like
see the
how
titties.
That's
wait,
the
that's
difference.
picture. That's it.
That's the difference.
Oh, okay, okay.
A little piece of mesh or net in the middle.
Look what
Yes,
they took from you,
that's the
Rebecca.
difference.
Look what they took.
Are we kidding me? We're still getting clavicle. We're
Not-
still getting
not to
clavicle. We're
mention-
still getting chest. We're still
There are
getting the
other-
line.
There
I
are
mean,
other outfits in the game that are way more skimpy than the original
Yes,
version of this.
Oh,
And
man.
they
So
put glasses
there's
on
no
there?
censor. There's no censorship. The developer said this was the original 10 of the outfit. It wasn't done in time. They just finished it and changed the out. This was the original intent is the new one.
Whoa, wait, hold on one second. I gotta start a petition. I was told this character had 20/20 vision.
And
What's
now
this?
there's glasses.
There's glasses on her now. Unbelievable.
Glasses.
Unbelievable.
But I don't know. I mean, they wanted a little bit more cleavage, but we're still getting cleavage here. We're getting a little bit of a sequel.
It's not enough.
Right here.
It's not enough.
You know, and then we have
We need
clavicle.
more.
Clavicle
More.
is sexy. We got that right up in here, and we still have a lot of the chest room. You know, so use your imagination beyond there because they make. If you look closely, you can still get that inside boob, the inside boob. You still get a little bit of that through. So they're doing the most. They're doing
Listen,
the most.
I am actually gonna I'm gonna shock everyone. I support this cause so much. And to all of the fellas watching who's upset about this, I'm just gonna speak to you for a moment, okay? If you go to google.com and you type in titties,
It's there.
you'll see titties.
You see a lot of it.
Yeah.
You see a lot of it. You like
You'll
titties,
actually
right?
see.
They're censoring my
I
game. Don't you
don't.
understand? Don't you like titties?
72,000 people.
72,000. I bet you it's gonna go up. It's just gonna get. It's just,
Oh, it is. It is.
Yeah.
It is.
And I wouldn't say
He's-
these people
he's
are
raising
are-
money. He's
but
going to go to
this is
Korea.
their art.
He's
They
like-
they work like this though. This is, you know, if you're a gamer, I don't know. But if your eyes have always been, you know, if you're used to something, if you wanted something, if they've been teasing something, I would say you guys would agree because y'all the gamers and I'm not. I would say that's what they expected. So yes, for these people, they're like, give me what I need. Maybe this is what allows them to play a little harder. To really go in. And
You can't even see the outfit. Like you can't even see the front when you're playing. Like you don't play her from the front. Like you're controlling her as the character. You're seeing most of her back mostly.
Is
so
it
like
only
it does.
this
You're not
character?
even really seeing unless
Oh,
you're
but
like
there's
stopping
such
the
a good
game.
photo mode, David.
Listen,
and you can just
listen,
stand there
listen.
and jump
Pull up-
and then watch the
dude,
jiggle
pull up the link
physics and
I
then
sent.
jump
There's
again.
more. There's
It's
more.
a video
You
game.
haven't seen how- you
Just-
haven't even seen how ridiculous it is.
It's a
It
video
gets-
game.
it
Just
gets
twist her
really
body
silly.
around, put the titties on her back, and then we can watch her.
Just
Oh, is
make
this her
the game a
body?
giant
Oh,
set
she
of
fixed
titties.
it.
But this is them. This is people going out of their way now to show, like, look, we told you. Look at the differences. You can see, right? Like in the top right corner over there, there's slightly a little bit more pelvic bone revealed, some pelvic
Oh
muscle
my
perhaps.
God.
See what
In the
you-
bottom
see what
right
you
variant, like
Mhm.
they,
Oh my
they
god.
all look like someone who's in a bathing suit. All of them. Like, how much are we
So
fighting over here?
absurd.
But these are, to me, these are low-key pervs, but they may not be, right? Just for my opinion, I'm not a gamer, but the details for them matter. Like I was saying, it may be like I want to see my girl sexy or whoever I'm playing. They're probably in this.
Oh yeah,
when they're
no
playing
one's trying to
these
take that away from them. No one's on the other side. Like you still get a sexy video game character. Like
A lot of their
people are
arguments
the
though is that it
characters.
starts. A lot of their arguments though is that this is a slippery slope. It starts here, and
Yeah.
what's next? They put some mesh over the cleavage. What's next? You never know. Like it's so absurd.
What I don't understand is that if you watch more of those videos, they talk about how, well, in games like Baldur's Gate, you see full penis and vagina. And it's like, but doesn't that undermine your point that the games are like all woke now?
Yeah,
Like,
that's
I
a
just-
different
I don't-
game.
I don't
Don't
understand.
play that game
So
then.
the games are woke because they're
Yeah.
titties, vagina.
I guess
penis.
so.
Because they're censoring it. That's why
Yeah.
they're woke. They just censored it.
But they're also woke because Grand Theft Auto was too graphic and that should be banned because it's sexual deviancy, according to some individuals, like Jackson Hinkle, an intellectual that some of you may be familiar with.
These games are getting out of control. Like, I don't know why I gotta play with titties bouncing while somebody need to kill somebody or like
More.
I don't get it.
Well, listen, Rebecca, right now I'm playing a game as a crab, as a hermit crab with a fork, and I'm killing other like little.
How
sea
is that game,
creatures.
by the way?
I just started it, but
what's the name of that game?
Another Crab's Treasure.
Oh, Lord.
It's like a super hard. It's like a super hard, like Demon Souls like game, but
I'm
you're
not trying
crab.
to take anyone's cities away. In fact, I want more. I want there to be equal access. I want more dong, more dong in video games. I want to have pronounced dong, bulge, like,
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. I think it's important, and I think we're fighting for it. I just think like all video game characters, for the most part, when it's the portrayal of women, are sexy video game characters. There's very few titles where you have any kind of different body type beyond this one look, right? There's nothing wrong with someone being like, it'd be neat if we had other representation or even the idea of that. Like, that's not someone trying to take away your titties. There's no one on the other side of this. There's no one
crazy.
fighting this. Like, yeah,
This topic is crazy. Okay,
I know,
All right.
but it's
You
so
gotta-
distracting. I love it. I was so obsessed with these
you
people.
want, you need like you want it to be more bold. You want it to be this. You guys are outrageous. Now, I will say,
I just
like,
want creative freedom. Let them do what they want, and that's what's happening.
Yes, let them.
They're doing what they want.
long and low.
I guess so.
First, they came for the stellar blade cleavage, and I did not speak out.
You guys, this is a video game, but maybe there is some like like you were saying, Lance, that passion for the details and how they play. I mean, these are people who are playing this all day. I don't know what it is. The artistic value.
Honestly,
maybe.
No, I don't think it's any of
I'm
that. I think
trying.
it's
I don't
cult
know.
like behavior. It's cult like behavior. There's this guy they follow. What's his name? Grums or whatever the fuck his name is.
Mark.
Oh, I can tell you about Grums.
He's a failed game developer, and he's basically
got
now
from his own company.
Yeah,
he squandered all the money on stupid shit. He spent all of their finances on a giant bus that was supposed to be a mobile game device, and
the company. Funny
it's
enough,
so weird.
Funny enough, the company I used to work for worked with him on that game. And I remember working there when I saw this bus. I'm like, what? Why the fuck are they spending money on this? Like, I remember that. And that game, I don't think
it was made by the Pimp My Ride crew.
It was Firefall. I'm not sure
TV
that game
show
ever
Pimp My
actually
Ride.
came out. It was like an MMO, like FPS, I think. I'm not sure if it ever actually came out.
Oh, that
But
sounds
anyways,
familiar.
He's like a massive failure. And now, so he's making his living, or at least he's grown this following off of this obsessive, attempt at trying to get this small contingent of weirdos riled up over shit like this. And it's like he has to know he's full of shit, but this is what he's cultivated.
Too. There's like this is currency online. People are making so much money off this fake outrage. There's so many
Yes.
YouTube videos that
Yes,
have
there's
hundreds
a lot
of
of that.
thousands,
Yeah.
hundreds of thousands of views because misogyny is currency on the internet, and it's like this story. It is just fucking exploding. In terms of like people talking about it, obsessing over it again. But like the scary thing about all this, and to your point, Rebecca, is that these same people, they have been attacking like the Quartering, Geeks and Gamers, all of these right-wing pop culture channels that are all massive. They've been attacking wokeness in video games for a long time, and it's often the exact same things as wokeness in movies, right? It's like there's a black character, there's a woman who's a strong protagonist, there's a gay character, all that. So they've been going after Spider-Man 2 because of gay characters and black characters, and then so this has become the new cause. Because I think both it's kind of like selling the weird horny to their fans at the same time as like, I mean, it's just fucked. Like they are broadcasting things again. You couldn't torture out of me. Why are you? They're all doing it for free too on the internet. Like he uploaded a video of him playing this game, being like, "I did it, comrades! I unlocked the costume or whatever."
It's just
How did like? Do you guys know? I have a question.
It's
How
weird
did Fortnite get like removed from these controversies? Because if you play Fortnite, there's black characters, women characters. It's the most popular video game on the planet right now. I thought it's certainly up there. I mean, they just signed a deal with Disney to bring
Because those aren't the main
characters in.
protagonists. Those are just alternative characters. They're not the main characters.
But every Fortnite character is pretty much an alternative character. No one actually plays the storyline mode.
And there's no
Fortnite.
story, right? So if there's no story,
There is
then
a
you can't push
storyline
an
mode.
agenda.
No, there is a story mode, but no one plays it. The free one is just the
Okay.
battle royale where everyone it's 100 people on it. But I think your default character. I haven't played the default character in a while because I since have signed up to play it with my son and actually pay for it, so I get the other skins. But I think the default character that everyone plays with, if you're not paying, is a black woman, and I don't hear anyone complain about that on Fortnite.
Yeah,
I wonder.
You're giving them ideas now.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I will say, I think it is important that we hear out the other side. So if you want to indulge this a little bit longer, I have this video from Asmongold TV. I'm a huge fan of him. It's titled, quote, "Normal People React to Stellar Blade's Censorship." And he's going to give us their perspective. And the implication is that we're not the weirdos. We're not the normal ones. They are. We're the weirdos in actuality. So I'll play a little bit of this. We're
He's
not
saying
watch
this
all
because
of it.
this is his fucking audience. Like that's why he's saying.
Yeah, he's gooning. He wants the titties, but he can't comprehend why people think that this controversy is really fucking stupid.
There's tons of Fortnite went woke videos on YouTube, by the way.
Oh, okay.
One quick look, and there's tons of them. Fortnite has gone woke because it went gay. Fortnite has gone woke because it has a black character. Fortnite
There
has
we
gone
go.
woke because it has a
Okay.
black
Oh, but you
character.
don't really hear about it though. Like Fortnite does, they do like they do like gay pride stuff in the store. They do all sorts of. I've never seen people complain about it.
I feel like Fortnite's too mainstream to be able to really take down in any kind of way, or to like yeah. There's no there's no real controversy there. It's all obviously just complete bullshit. Like just complaining about what the existence of many character options. Like it's a tough thing for people to really latch onto.
Someone in one of the chats brought up how Fortnite tends to have a younger audience, so maybe they're not even viewing these things through that lens yet. And to that I say, fuck, everybody should start playing with Fortnite and making sure the kids stay that way. So when they get older, they're not the ones making these videos too. My God. This stuff is so ridiculous. I can't imagine caring about anything so unimportant.
Yes,
so
I know.
absolutely meaningless.
Well, that's
in the
just
way
because you're a
people
normal
care about
person. By the way, this
just
is
think
him
it's-
reacting to another person's video. So this is just the theme here. He doesn't make his own shit, I guess, but let's watch a little bit of this.
My favorite thing is that the people that consider themselves normal on social media are boring millennial 30-somethings that have a laundry list of mental disorders in their bio, along with the flags of the countries that they support. And then they also tweet about killing people because of a disagreement of a video game outfit.
But I just got to pause it because I feel like he's talking directly about me. He has us pinned down. Like, good job, Asmongold. Good job. Okay.
Guys, we're the ones who are weird. That's right. Surprise! We're psychos.
Guys, right here. So yesterday we got the official release of Stellar Blade. And the main topic of conversation that has stemmed out of that is the various aspects of the game that have been censored. Now, many bad actors on Twitter.
I feel so bad exposing Rebecca to this world.
This is a lot. And I'm
I
like,
think we're the weirdos.
This
We
is,
want this cartoon
I'll be
to-
honest. I'll be honest. This is a lot for me. I can't even imagine how Rebecca feels right now.
yeah, I'm just listening. Like, this is what happens in the gaming world.
If this is too much for me, I feel really bad for you. This is insane.
It's so good. This is my favorite story of the year.
Honestly, all I can think of right now is like there are multi-million-dollar film productions that spend tons of money getting the perfect shots, getting the perfect moment, the perfect scenery, the perfect setting, the right acting in the right if at the right moment, multiple takes, all to make sure that a film comes out and looks good, is entertaining, captures the audience's attention. And then there is a non-insignificant number of people who just watch a fucking looped cartoon character fucking talk. And a guy watched that looped cartoon character talk. This is just so fucking stupid. I can't imagine watching any of this shit, honestly.
Well, it has how many views? 564,000.
So people have this is something that people want to hear.
Apparently.
I'm so shocked that there's outrage about this kind of stuff. But
We're not going to watch any more of this fucking lose.
No. I had to give you a little bit.
I can't take his voice. He's terrible. He's so terrible.
I was like, I'm a little bit envious of them because, like, if you care about a little bit of titties being censored in a video game, and that's like your biggest concern, you must have a really good life. Like I'm jealous in some ways, right?
Yeah, no, 100%.
And you get to get paid for that talking about it, and just titties not appearing places. This is where we should draw the line when they're not creating the titties as we want to see them. This is where we should draw the line.
The wild thing is you get so much titties in the game. Like if you watch the trailer for the game that came out, you're like, holy fuck, that's like this is what they like. They're mad about this.
You can never have too much titties.
People are dying in the world.
I know.
Well, titties are being censored, Rebecca.
Yeah.
Don't you care about that?
25% of the cleavage
on a game. I don't know. There's so much titty in the real world. I know.
There's real titties. There's real titties.
Matt,
you're censored. You're censored, Matt.
Censored,
I actually have to say, I have to push back on that. Actually, that people who care about this must have no problems in the real world. I'm sure that is a chunk of them, but I actually do think there is a significant number of people who actually have a lot of problems in the real world, who can't have any, who don't know how to handle that shit. And so this is what they focus their time on. This is where they get their anger out. This is where
that's a good point.
They get their
therapy.
Because a lot of these people are deeply unhappy. But a lot of these people are deeply unhappy people. I mean, to be a misogynist, you are a deeply unhappy person. I mean, it's just. I mean, I was a major. I was focused on covering the men's rights movement in the early 2010s. I had debates with some of their biggest names in the early 2010s. They hated my guts. I won the Mangina of the Year award in 2014.
Congratulations! I didn't know. Wow.
Yes, thank you.
That's a hell of an
Good for you, man. Damn. I didn't know we were in the company of a legend.
Crazy,
right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
The Year award.
So, Mangina of the Year award. Yep. One of their favorite YouTubers.
Holy shit.
One of their favorite YouTubers put up a vote, and they put all their favorite male feminists on there for their men's rights activists to give the Mangina of the Year award, and I was on there, I think, with Stephen Colbert. It was definitely Barack Obama. And
wow.
What they weren't expecting though was for me to find it and for me to actively campaign to win it. that's why I won. I told everyone to vote for me so I would win the Mangina of the Year award.
How did you beat Obama?
Yeah, they were very upset. If I remember, they had to give it to me, but they were very upset.
That's hilarious. Oh
but
my
like
God.
these guys are
Right.
these guys are deeply unhappy. They a lot of times when they're talking about men's rights, what is their number one issue? It is actually like paying alimony or having to pay child support. Like these are the things they are focused on because they are deeply unhappy people. And they've fucked up their life in some sort of way, and that's totally on them, but they need to blame somebody else. So they blame the woman in their life, the women in their life, or whatever. These are the issues they focus on. So here in this scenario, a lot of these guys are probably too young to deal with it in that way. So their outlet is to get angry that women in their video games aren't showing enough skin for them. They're not jiggling enough for them. I mean, this is what it is. These are deeply unhappy guys.
Sure. Yeah. Nothing for it. I just feel like it's still, they can be unhappy guys, little boys, younger men, whatever. Those people that I saw underneath the comment section in video form, those are adults, men, then there's no more milk on their tongue. Their pee is acidic now. And so, these are grown men. And I feel like, the anger for it, I think it's just like some personal kind of stuff. I mean, I don't know the gaming world, but I think I'm really trying to find something. And the only thing I can think of is the artistic, like how they are used to seeing things, or people in the game. But that other side to it, I just feel like shows how out of touch, like this is reality for them. The gaming world is their reality. This is reality for them. And to make it such a thing, I think, in this time, I think that's where they should, y'all could really, come after me in the comment section, but seek help. Because if you mad about cities like that, like if that is really outrage, like it enrages you for you to get online. And, I know some of this stuff is clickbait and they know that people are going to go and watch it. Some people are just, like you said, making money off of this and that. But there are people who really, I know, they feel like they feel like something was stolen from them. And it was titties. And I just have nothing. It sounds crazy as I'm talking about it right now. It helped. Like, figure out why that's a problem for you. And you can still play the game. You can still play the game. But yeah, that's just how I feel about that. People are dying in the world and you're mad about titties.
People are dying in the world. Also, half of gamers are women, by the way. Statistically in the polls,
right?
It's incredibly close.
So why
And
not? So do women? Because what I seen right now from what you were showing me-
I saw one woman on there, and she seems like someone who has some problems and probably needs some help. Like it's like
wait, there's a woman
so-
in the Stellar Blade. I didn't know that.
I was going through the videos a few days ago when that link first popped up, and I was like, oh my god. Let me watch this, and I was like, "Oh, geez."
I kind of want to see the woman.
So,
I don't want to watch that. I haven't seen that yet.
So do women get
I'm gonna
mad,
find
like,
it.
you know, or whatever? Do they get mad when the man isn't out there?
I'm telling you, she has the issues, Mike. You don't want to watch it.
Okay.
No, we won't do that. We won't put them. But
well, no. Here's the thing, Rebecca. There are games and video games that are arguably in every way, shape, or form. They're art. They're just beautiful, and they can convey emotion and feeling and storyline in the same way any other medium can. There's like The Last
Superman
of Us,
64.
There's Superman 64 is the other
Great
one.
game.
Yeah, no, he's joking. But The Last of Us, really, really, really good game. There is like video games that are actual like works of art and stuff like that, but the overwhelming amount of representation you see by women in video games, and I'm not trying to take this away from anybody. I like, you know, I like attractive people in my media just like anyone else, right? But it's like you'll have a dude who's wearing armor, and then you'll have a woman who's wearing a thong, and you go into the battle sequence, you know, and it's like, and why not allow people, because you can now, to have both if they want, right? Have the man in a thong and run out. If that's what you want, that's your thing, cool. And then you
Get the
man running
physics
out of the
right.
thong. Right.
Okay.
Yeah, yes, the dong physics,
Make his
the ball
ass
physics.
tight in the
Yes,
thong.
yes. Ooh, yes, absolutely. Yes, for
And
sure.
have
All
them
that.
draping in the front.
Or the
And
female
everybody-
characters or the female gamers and the gays will riot. Okay, we'll do our own change.org.
It's problematic. See, this brings me to another point, but that will be so problematic because I'm telling you, there will now be an outrage about that. Why are they trying to push an agenda? Okay,
Yep.
why are they trying to do that?
Oh no, every time there is. Yes, there is.
Mhm. And so that would be that. And that's what I'm like, I don't know. Will anything be right for people and anything? We're talking about gaming,
No, people are
right?
going to find a reason to complain no matter what.
Yeah.
They're going to find, and really, it's not just complain. They're going to find a way to monetize, and in doing so, they will get other people on board who are lost souls
Misogyny is so
watching the
valuable on
videos.
internet.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You guys taught me something about games. I was telling people in the comment section all I know, and because I was playing with my nephews this weekend, and they have the little system. Look, I sound old. They have the system that's not the original system, but you can like download the OG games. And you know, they call me Tati. That means auntie in Creole. So they were like, you know, Tati, can you just play, you know, one of the games that you know how to play, like the really old ones? I'm like, yeah.
How old are we talking?
Like Super Mario or the OG Mario where he's jumping and
I love the OG Mario.
He's just
Yeah,
like,
I
he
love
just
that.
looks
That
like
one's good.
To this day, I have fun playing Mario still.
Yeah, absolutely. I play that one, and then I play what Mario Kart. You know, at least that was cool,
That's
you know,
my first love of a game.
I love
Mario
it.
Kart.
Good game. And then I like to play.
And it's for a sexual experience.
Yeah. Oh, okay. See, look, that's
What?
okay. And then there's Sonic.
Do tell.
Sonic as well. Sonic was cool with, you know, the little coins and stuff. And then Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter. I know those games, right? I like to, you know,
Classics.
and you know, like Sonya and fighting with those were sexy characters to me. And then you know, Sheba, who I was confused about, is that a woman or a man? But it's a monster. But we just went with it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like those are the
It's
games
from
that I
another
know.
world. Another world. So.
Yeah, I don't know any of these other things, but I do see that my nephew is playing the shooting game, and it must be Fortnite. But he's playing that game, and I'm like, you're like freaking 10. What do you know about this? And he's just okay with the blood splatter. His dad is walking him through how to really do things in the game, and most kids are playing it. He's talking to other kids with the little earpiece, and they're like, you know, they're going hard. They're saying things about their moms. I don't know, like, how do these kids have
Apparently
this
it's
type
really
of rage
intense.
in them? But that's I don't know. That's the new gaming now, and kids start early.
Kids are hardcore. Like my nephew begged me to play Grand Theft Auto. This was back on like the Xbox 360 when he was young. And I'm like, no. And finally he convinced me that if he just drove around, it's fine. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I leave for 5 minutes. I come back. He's in a shootout with the cops. So kids are hardcore as shit.
They are.
I thought you were
They
going to
learn
say killed a
quick,
bunch of
too.
sex workers. They were in the trunk. And fast, you know,
Yeah.
like.
Well, maybe I have to try one of those games out, you know, and see if the titty bouncing is such a, you know, if that makes me feel away.
Adequate.
Sufficient for your
I would
desires.
laugh so hard if I checked out that website with the signatures like in a couple of days, and Rebecca's uploaded a video complaining.
I'll make me a corn, baby. The black girl ain't nothing about video games. Now she's joined the club.
There were definitely some videos on there that were doing it to like troll. Like you could tell where some of them were just kind of joking. Like,
okay.
Yeah. There's some that were getting a little too over the top. Like, all right, you're not serious.
Should
And
we
there were
all
others
record a
and there were
video
others that
now
were just
and
like, oh
upload
my
it?
god, I feel so bad for you. Just like really
Yeah.
depressing.
Let's hear it. This is our video. We'll screen
cap.
cap this. Somebody upload it to the change.org petition. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Bring back the titties. We want titties.
I just really need
then
really need you to uncensor that, please. Please, can you really?
This is my
I
personal
really need that.
9/11.
Titties
9/11
matter.
of titties. This is titty
Titties
9/11.
matter.
Don't let titty 9/11 happen.
Gamers will rise up. We will never forget what you took from us, Skill Up or Sony.
I want the 25% of cleavage back. Fucking give me the cleavage.
25% titties.
Just clip Lance doing that right now and upload that.
Yeah,
small
that's all
piece.
you need. Yeah, it's perfect.
Crop us all out. That was hilarious.
They'll listen to you, Lance.
They'll listen to you. Better listen to me. Look what they took from us. Oh,
Somebody
man.
said I'm gonna counter petition to make the to make the bouncing more accurate.
Jiggle physics. Jiggle physics.
Y'all really had me on here talking about titties, and then Matt getting the Mangina award. That I did not know.
That's their
That's pretty-
terminology.
pretty
I mean,
cool.
what am I supposed to say? It is what it is. Barack
Do they still
Obama
have
should
that? I would
have
like to
campaigned
compete
for it
for
more.
it.
No, I don't think they do
True.
it anymore. The MRAs fell off a bit. They got Trump came along, and I guess men found that to be a better outlet for their rage.
Now they're
They're still around though.
Nazis,
They're definitely still
probably.
around. They also sort of turned into like the Andrew Tates of the world. You see a lot of overlap with those guys.
That's true. The Manosphere. I didn't think about that.
Yes.
Probably a lot of blending. Okay.
And every now and then you
mentioned
hear
that because
do.
Bender. Well, I was gonna say,
Every
Bender,
now and then
you
you
were
do-
talking about Sneeko and how. Oh, sorry, you weren't talking about Sneeko specifically, but you were talking about how a lot of people in that world are often like divorcees or they've been separated from. His origin story is he started becoming like a right-wing red pill manosphere guy after his partner wanted to have like a threesome, and then they did like a cucking thing, and he hated it, and they broke up, and then he became super like right-wing anti-women, and just turned that into his whole personality, and became friends with Andrew Tate too.
It pays. I
That's
mean,
like-
that's when you make money when you do that. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that's where people will
Tale
watch
as
you.
old as time.
Yep.
Song
Yeah.
as old as rhyme. Men's rights
I
activists.
I was like, keep it. Yeah,
that is.
I'm like, am I wrong? Because I needed to just like really get it, and I felt like that was really,
Good catch, Rebecca,
Yeah.
because I knew it sounded familiar, but I couldn't place it.
It was giving Beauty and the Beast. Okay, there we go. Titties and Beauty and the Beast. What a show!
Wow.
What a show!
We're going
Rebecca's
places.
back.
Oh, the show's over already.
Rebecca's here. Let's talk
flew
about
right
the
by.
dumbest shit
Yeah.
imaginable. I'm sorry, Rebecca.
You came as soon as all the serious topics went away. We
I see.
finished all our serious topics. You came
At
in
least,
for the
at least
titties.
I know that there were serious topics, and then when titties joined, then we talked about titties. So
Yeah.
we're good
Right.
now. We're
You
good
would be
now.
proud of the
Somehow
first
that
half,
worked out.
Rebecca. I promise.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay, good. As long as I know that when people are like, "Yo, y'all didn't have Rebecca on here talking about first," but you guys did educate me on gaming. What happens in that world, or a portion of
Hashtag
that
not all
world?
gamers. Not all gamers.
There's outrage. People are protesting in that world. And there's misogyny there. You know, and so I've learned that, and maybe I'll play one of these games. Like I said, I don't know. Maybe I'll play them and see if I feel the same, and then I'll come back and tell you guys what that did to me. Okay.
All right.
I'll share that with you guys. 'Cause I don't get it. Okay, it ain't my thing, but I'll figure it out. I know it's something my nephew can show me.
I feel like since we got in substance, we kind of have that extra leeway with the audience to talk about dumb shit. I remember like there's a couple episodes before where some of the comments on the VODs were like, they literally didn't talk about a single political issue this whole time. It was just dumb shit. And I feel like those are the best episodes, especially depending on the climate in the country and around the world.
Depends on
just
the week.
because, yeah, exactly.
Sometimes you want to escape a little bit.
Right, right.
Yeah.
I mean, to be clear to Rebecca, because she missed all of it. I don't want her thinking we've been talking about this all day. For the first hour, we covered what was happening at school campuses. Just to be clear.
Yeah, well, I came in on that. I did see that, and I mean, like that is a top story right now. I'm not doubting that you guys didn't. All right, don't worry, Matt. I know that you guys be on here and you guys can talk your talk. You guys have your own channels where you talk the talk all day. So I don't mind that this might be an outlet for you guys, like the gamers, where you come and just take it off your shoulders and like show another side to yourself that people don't see. Just have other conversations because you.
I
guys
just want to be seen. I want to feel like I'm seen.
Yeah, you don't want to be ugly.
No, I want those 25%.
Oh, you guys. And then the fact that I was really engaging in the conversation because I was trying to say where I don't. Oh, wow! It was a lot of that, but I was educated, and
I'm trying to find the chat. Here we go. Jesus, no, now I lost my place. Trying to find your chat. Here we go. There you go, Rebecca.
All right, there we go. 222, which is my angel numbers. Thank you so much, Smokey Rose. Hey, how you doing? Narrator, thank you so much. $10. Oh, the snake. The snake has to be for being a rattler. I wanna say from FAMU. Okay, I want to say that. So Prairie Fire. I feel like it would be worse if the middle-aged commentators were saying something to the effect of, wow, I disagree with these bangable protesters, or these woke hotties really hate genocide.
That's true. That's a great point, actually.
Yeah. Thanks, Prairie, for that one. Quiet Damon. I'm gonna go with that. Not the one gay TLM host asking Becca about boobs. You talking about Mike?
I didn't ask her about titties. I told her about titty situations.
He told me about the titty gate or whatever this is. Hypno Amber, emotional, please. Thank you so much for that. Emotional labor tax for having to talk about games. Thank you. Andrelin de Bagashke. Just, bless your heart. I don't know.
Bashore.
That's Bashore, right? That's Bashore?
Yeah, Bashore.
Okay, Bashore. Thank you. Hi, just spreading it around. Your turn. Thank you.
And this last one.
Super sticker. Thank you so much. Thank you guys. I'm glad to be back. I missed you guys so much.
$20. Wow.
$20. Put it in my pocket. And that's Canadian dollars. Is that Canadian dollars?
That's Canadian.
Yes. Yep. Make it rain on me, Canadian dollars. I like that. International dollars.
Oh, there's one more.
Andrew, thank you so much. Glad you're back this week. I'm glad to be back this week. I'm really glad to be back this week. And just a little bit of an update. I know last time I told you guys, my job was stressing me out. So as of about, I think they got me at about in a week, they have decided to go on without me. So I will no longer be with them. And it's okay. What? Yeah, they let me go. But it's okay because once the paper is done, and I don't know what I'll be doing next, but once the paper is the paperwork is done, the ink is dry, I will be coming with a tell-all.
Oh my God.
With a tell-all. But in that sense of it, I don't know what that's gonna look like for me in that time or whatever. I'm never really, I don't know. So but maybe this is like a good thing for me. You know what I mean? So, we'll see. I don't know, but we'll see. And I'll keep you guys updated. But once it's all said and done, prepare for Rebecca's tell-all. Because I'm going to be spilling it. Okay? Ooh. But in the meantime, I'll be here. But
are you going to be will you be able to get like unemployment and stuff or severance or anything?
No. So that's going to take a while. Here in Georgia, it's not something that just comes like right after. I know the process takes longer. When I spoke to somebody about it, they were saying that, there's so much, it's backed up. So for me, I would have to wait. And so I don't know what it's going to look like, but these days I try not to stress because stress is not good for my skin. So we'll just see how it goes, and hopefully things work out, So, but Saturday we're on Like It or Not. So catch me there around 10:30 a.m. and then I'll be back on Leftist Mafia. My birthday is this month, so
it's
on May 15th.
What day?
Yeah, it's on May 15th. Yeah, I'm turning 34. I know, I can't believe it either.
So
I'm turning 34.
Is that a Thursday?
Yeah,
Probably
I
not.
guess.
No, it's
I
a
don't know.
Wednesday.
It's a Wednesday. Oh,
We could still do a post-birthday celebration though, of some sort.
Yeah, I won't be. I don't think I'm doing anything this year. So I could do the show if that's the case. But unless my man surprises me, other than that, I should be here. I should be here. So, all right, y'all. I love you. Mean it, and I will see you guys next Thursday. Bye.
Good night.
Nice seeing you, Rebecca.
Nice seeing y'all.
All right, here we go. Oh, let me pull up my hold on. Gotta pull up the my super chat so I know what I'm looking at here. Oh, here we go. This is for me. Blex actually with a $5 super chat. If a leftist stream isn't at least a little scuffed, then I don't trust it.
True. Very good point, actually. This is for me, actually. Darnell Henriquez with $1.99. Binder, you look like you belong in a ripped t-shirt.
Like a ripped t-shirt? I don't think so.
I'm not sure what they mean by that. I don't know if that was Rip was like a band or a wrestler or something. But
is it? I mean, maybe it is. Ripped? I don't know.
I don't know.
Kuya Damon, I think. Thank you for the super chat. Says David, your coverage of Morning Joe had me raging as well. It's not just you, I promise, and I have to hope that a lot of people are seeing this. PS. Yeah, I was seeing on my YouTube comments. You get their YouTube comments on how much you can trust them, but there's like several people saying I saw that, I was so angry, I'm going to stop watching their show. Or like a few people, I unsubscribed from them. To be clear, it's like 5 people, but I imagine I don't have too many Morning Joe watchers on my show, or maybe I do. But people clearly that are Morning Joe watchers were bothered by it, so I imagine there's a lot more of those.
Oh, that's good.
That's good.
Wait, what was your thing?
I just talked about the stupid chain bullshit. I talked about the
what were they angry about?
The Al Sharpton
you had
clip.
Morning Joe watchers. I mean, it's your audience. We know how
they were. They were angry that. Yeah, I know. It's. I feel like though it may have gotten the algorithm. Like sometimes people, they search up Morning Joe, they see my shit. But yeah, they were just angry that Morning Joe's full of shit.
Morning Jew. I said Morning Joe viewers. Morning Joe viewers are actively. I could say that I'm Jewish. All right. Morning Joe viewers are actively going on. Like, how old are these Morning Joe viewers? I can't imagine that.
I did a video on The View, and people that watch The View watch my videos on The View. They do. They can see you. They go to YouTube and can see more View content.
You can left pill them. You should do
that's
some
what,
powers for good.
honestly, that's like a lot of what, like when I cover media stuff specifically, that's kind of that's where I direct my commentary towards, is the hopes that someone that doesn't normally watch my videos, falls upon it and sees that. And that's why I try to be level-headed when I'm doing my breakdowns, because I feel like if I come off too strong, they're just gonna not listen to what I'm saying.
Yeah,
you know what?
You've got to basically not red pill them, but I guess I don't know what the blue pill them, just whatever the opposite is. You got to plant those seeds, basically.
Yeah.
I totally could imagine the Morning Joe viewer who came across your video and then took the time to basically comment that they were very angry. Let me act out this Morning Joe viewer who saw David's video on Morning Joe. All right. Come on, man. I'm doing my Biden. I'm doing my best Biden. All right.
I do mention in the video that it's Joe Biden's favorite morning show. That's like, that's why I focused on that show specifically, because it is, that show actually matters, not just in the context of like the impact on people, but on the impact on the fucking president. So their propaganda actually has an impact. Anyways, Smokey Rose.
Oh, this is for me, Smokey Rose. People just now realizing ACAB means ACAB is wild. Oh, this is for me too? My God. Andrew S. for the $20 super chat. Thank you so much. These crackdowns on college protesters will just encourage more BDS responses. My alumni, CSULB, did a walkout and encampment today with 1,000 plus affiliates. That's awesome. Yeah, they really don't get that they are aiding in the spread of this. I mean, this is, you're clearly, like, think about it. Like, for a lot of these young people, this is the first time there has been a conflict with Palestine, with Israel bombarding Palestine, where they are politically active, where they are young adults, where they can go out and do things on their own. I mean, the most recent one was, 3 years ago? And that was nowhere near as big as some of the ones before it. And this, obviously, which is the biggest one that there's been since, the Nakba. But these are young people who are coming face to face with it for the very first time, something that everyone in the mainstream, all these authority figures are telling them, you can't protest against this. You can't feel this way about this. As they see innocent men, women, and children being slaughtered on their social media feeds, they are going to be pissed and do whatever they can to put a stop to it, because this is their first experience.
I mean, we're all supposed to do that. We're supposed to be
Right.
duty bound by international law that if a country is doing a genocide, that we're supposed to stop it. Not.
I mean, did
fuel
you
it.
see? Like, but it's even like I mean, I don't know what term to use for this, but I guess I'll use this one. Have you seen even like the anti-Palestine like microaggressions? Like, did you see this thing that Northwestern University did earlier today? Molly White, who's great person. She runs Web3's Going Great. She usually covers crypto, but she's also like a leftist. She posted that, hold on, let me pull this up. Let me send this to you so you can pull it up on the feed. It is so ridiculous, and I've never seen anything like this. So she went to Northwestern apparently. And so that's why she caught this. But here, I just dropped it in the chat. So they had their one of their many graduation ceremonies, I assume, today. And open the video first. There's a video there.
It just said,
bottom.
sorry, it just gave me a thing saying that it lost audio. I'm not sure if you'll hear this or not.
Oh, you don't need to hear it. Don't worry about that.
Okay.
Just so if
This
you
here?
zoom in, you'll see that student is waving a number of flags, and one of them is the Palestinian flag. And he went on his social media, he went on Instagram, and he saw that Northwestern posted his photo from graduation. Pull up the photo. This is the Northwestern photo that they took of him. They photoshopped the Palestinian flag out of the photo.
Oh my god!
Like it's photoshopped. It's photo. He saw the photo and he
Is he
said,
holding it with the other hand though?
Wow.
Yes, but if you look closely, it's photoshopped. Look at those. Could you zoom in? It's photoshopped. It's very clearly photoshopped.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I zoomed in and posted a screenshot. Hold on. Let me I'll send you that link too. If you look into the replies, you might see it. Right there. The background goes over that student's and the guy saw this photo and he said that he never held up just two of the flags. If one arm was up, both of his arms were up. There's multiple videos of him holding the flags up all together at one time. Never having one hand down when the other is up.
They did this. It's so petty. Like, what the-
They photoshopped the Palestinian flag. Like I can't. What other people would they do this for? They just wouldn't. I don't understand it. It's unbelievable.
North Korea.
But would they? Because then I guess a North Korean person wouldn't be holding up their flag if they were here, right? Sure.
I don't think they would even notice though. Like this is they noticed that flag because of it's a Palestinian flag. Like the North Korean flag. Who the fuck is going to notice that? Like, I would. This is for me. Cat67, thank you for your $20 super chat.
1 and 0 and 2.
Just so you guys know, the protests in the 60s were more violent. Again, the
Yep.
propaganda was the cause of the violence. The police were the instigator of riots.
Always are.
Yeah, and we've seen, I mean, Mike showed a video. We've seen several videos now of like protesters that were there in the 60s and coming out to these protests and in support of them. This one.
Infinite Content with $5. Thank you so much. Eric Adams is the worst pro-cop mayor since Frank Rizzo in Philly, who endorsed police brutality. Yeah, he is terrible. As Ole said, he's the worst mayor in America, and I think that he proves that more and more every single day.
He honestly, like, he makes me miss Bill de Blasio. He makes me reposition even Michael Bloomberg on the shitty mayor chart.
Oh man!
Like Bloomberg.
What about
did
Rudy?
some-
What about Rudy?
Well, Rudy,
Giuliani?
no, Rudy, yeah. Rudy's
He's
on
irredeemable?
par. Rudy's on par. No, but like, listen, Michael Bloomberg was obviously like pro-cop, and he cracked down on Occupy Wall Street, and he did a lot of horrible things, stop and frisk and everything. But like, he at least cared to use, and I'm not giving this as a positive. This is just like, just obviously for his own, how he's viewed. But Eric Adams doesn't care about this. Like, Michael Bloomberg would still say things to make sure that he made it clear that New York was for all types of people. Like, he would say stuff against Islamophobia and things like that. Eric Adams, he went out the other day and he said, "How dare anyone fly any flag in this in this country but the American flag?" Like, this is New York.
And then there's a photo of
Israeli
him.
flag.
There's a photo of him with the Israeli flag.
And the
Like,
NYPD with the Israeli flag as well. Like,
yeah.
But it's like New York City. Like, you walk down, you could see the Mexican flag. You
Yeah,
see,
exactly. Who
Puerto
cares?
Puerto Rican
Exactly.
flag, Dominican Republic
Right.
flag. You see all sorts of flags. But I mean, the Palestinian flag is one too far.
Yeah.
Narrator with $10. Thank you, narrator. If Palestinians were white, if white doctors were found hogtied in mass under dirt, if Biden were sending billions to further the of a starving white refugee population. Yeah, I agree with you, narrator. There's a double standard, and it's because the people in Palestine just are not viewed equally as human beings.
Yeah.
And more people need to call out this racism, because that's what it is. They're quick to cynically weaponize anti-Semitism when that's not actually the case. But I think that what we're seeing here is legitimately, this is racism. It's dehumanization. And I wish that people would call it out, particularly the media. But of course, they're part of it, so they're not going to do that. But yeah, I agree with you, narrator.
Without a doubt, there is a large percentage of people in this country who view Palestinians exactly in the same way the Israeli government views them. They literally view every single one of them, from a baby 10 minutes old to a 98-year-old man. They're all terrorists. They all are terrorists. They want to harm Israel. They want to kill Jews. This is they all need to be taken out. Without a doubt, there is a significant number of people in this country who hear Palestinian and think terrorist.
Mm-hmm.
Tokyo Hans.
I'm guessing this is for me. Yes, it is. First, Nick Martin, thank you so much for becoming a member on YouTube. And Tokyo Hans, here we go. NYPD, some of these students were consuming these Hamas death cult rings. Reporter, sir, that is a bagel.
Marlon Brimmer, thank you for the $5. Imagine coming from the civil rights movement just to shit on peaceful protesters down the road. What a sellout. Yeah. I believe this person is referencing Al Sharpton. Not to mention, Al Sharpton also, Ole pointed this out on Twitter, after Ole destroyed Eric Adams. Who was it that baptized him? It was Al Sharpton the next day. So, I mean, yeah, Al Sharpton, he has said horrible things. I believe he's the one that's, I don't remember specifically what the word was that he used, but he said something terribly racist against the Palestinians. It was very dehumanizing. I think I did a video on it, but I'm blanking. Yeah, Al Sharpton, just complete sellout. he's a full-blown MSNBC panelist now. That's what I'll say. Like he fits in very well, unfortunately.
Yeah. Oh, really quick, over on Twitch, just got rated by KF Logan 1875 and No Justice MTG. Thank you so much, folks. Appreciate it, KF Logan and No Justice. Hello to your viewers. Hey, everyone watching.
Fenrir 787. Thank you for the super chat. Says blame capitalism. Property rights are more valuable than lives and ideals. Well, depends where the property is. If you take a look at Gaza, broken windows are important. Are more important than broken lives in Gaza. Yeah, like the idea that anyone's going to worry about or should worry about.
That's the whole point of the framing. That's why. That's why you get Piers Morgan spending so much time to talk about like property rights and like, are any of you actually saying that it's okay for students to like, take over these libraries and break glass, like broken glass? And that's why it's so nice and refreshing to see someone like Cornel West be like, it's so fucked up in the middle of a genocide for you to be framing it this way. You have a voice, you have a massive platform, you have an opportunity to do something, and you're getting people upset about fucking broken glass. It's fucked. It's fucked.
Yeah.
How many people need to starve before you turn on? Like.
Wanda with a $10 super chat. Early voting started in Maryland. We have a checkbox uncommitted to any presidential candidate on the Maryland ballot. If you live in Maryland, make your voice heard.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. I am will forever be upset that New York did not have an uncommitted option. So please, if you have this opportunity, do it. Make your voice heard.
Mm-hmm. Narrator, thank you for the $10. We all know why this, is acceptable, why Biden is still electable, why the majority of the Democratic base can still support Biden while opposing, Yeah, I'm of the belief that, and this is very cynical, but I think that it's over. Like, I think he lost this election. Every single swing state poll shows that he's down, he's lost the youth vote. It might not be as bad if you factor in normies who are outraged about abortion. So it's hard to say, but I mean, there's no coming back from this for Biden. I think he's a terrible person. I'm not going to vote for him. I don't live in a swing state. I don't know who's going to be on the ballot. So if it's Jill Stein, Cornel West, Claudia De La Cruz, I'll vote based on who's on the ballot. But yeah, he's fucked himself so much. He's lost so much support, but he doesn't care. He's actively made that choice at this point. There's no convincing him. Lord Pepsi with $2. Thank you. Who calls out the extreme on their side? Lore R. Side more Lore R. I'm not sure.
Who calls out the extreme on their side more? Oh, left or right?
Oh my God. Okay.
Nice.
I don't know.
Okay.
I think there's a character limit. That's why people are forced to do this stupid shit.
Yeah.
I should have been reading the chats. All the chats.
I was like, Lord. Lord of the Rings. Like Scooby Doo saying Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, definitely. To the extent that I don't view us as being on the same side as liberals.
I'll be
I
right
view
back.
them
Someone's got to
as
do this one. Hold up.
okay. I view them as being our opponents. That we are forced to align with for elections, for strategic voting. But to the extent that we're on the side of liberals, they call us out more. We call them out more, probably.
Also, what is the extreme on the left? To me, the extreme on the left are like right wingers masquerading as leftists. Like there is no like what is a
yeah.
Like, what is a
I
left,
don't think there is an
too
extreme.
far left. Like
Yeah.
maybe what like maybe like anarchists,
If you ascend,
leftist
yeah, if you
anarchists,
ascend the
but
throne
I'm
to
fine
become
with
a
them.
completely
That's-
pure anarchist, ultimately, if you are an anarchist at your core, what is it? That we're going to prove.
I got
on
no problem with
hierarchies,
left-wing anarchists. I'm on their side.
That's it.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, and that's not a bad philosophy to me. I actually like that.
Yeah.
I think there's certainly authoritarian leftists who have kind of bought into the idea that Stalin did nothing wrong and that they're going to be the gulags were base comrades and things like that. Forced labor camps were fucking awesome, shit like that. But like they don't hold any real power. Whenever I think some of them are really funny. I think like Infrared is fucking hilarious. He's so unintentionally hilarious. And then
someone brought up tankies as being like the extreme
but
left,
tankies,
they're not.
but
They're right
don't have-
wingers. They're right wingers.
and they don't
They're
have
reactionaries.
Power is the other thing. right?
But
They
they're
don't have
reactionaries.
institutional power. Like to actually, like I like laughing at them, but outside of that, yeah, they are reactionaries and pundits and stuff like that. But outside of that, it's not like they aren't really going to be something that's going to get in your way if you're an actual anti-capitalist, right? Some of them are just grifting to make more capital. That's the entire point of them. That's Jackson Hinkle's whole brand. Jackson
Right.
Hinkle, by the way, recently was at one of the student protests, the one that Norman Finkelstein was speaking at, and obviously the protesters and the student protests were like, "No, you can't speak." And so then he went and posted and said, "Zionists have kicked me out of the university campus." Blah, blah. I was like, you're shitting on them. Like, clearly this is such a transparent grift, and I can't believe there's so many people that buy into it. Like, he's the biggest political account on Twitter now. It's nuts. It just came out of nowhere.
Yeah. With regard to this question, whenever I hear like, oh, the extreme left, I feel like they're talking about like not even necessarily tankies and stuff. Like, I think that whenever Democrats or MSNBC liberal pundits talk about the extreme left, they're just talking about like progressives, like straight up like Bernie Sanders, AOC types, right? And it's so absurd to say that that's like extreme, or that there is even an extreme left in the first place, because like, okay, let's just the standard like extreme leftist that any normie would imagine. I mean, compare that to an extreme right winger. Like, one side wants healthcare, the other side wants a white ethno state. There's no comparison here, right? So I feel like
I hate that shit so
yeah.
much.
Someone did mention Shining Path, which was the leftist paramilitary group in Peru. So I'll agree. Maybe that's the extreme left. Maybe Shining Path is the
like, if you want
is the one example, right?
No, like the Zapatistas in Mexico. That's effectively, you know, an armed resistance that became its own anarchist,
Shining
self-governing.
Shining Path was probably way worse than. I don't think. I have to go back and read more about the Zapatistas, but Shining Path was pretty bad.
I'm not shitting on the Zapatistas. I think for the most part, the Zapatistas and the way they were structured and organized is actually pretty admirable. And obviously, like, you're not going to be able to speak on any topic, without having to mention the fact that there is obviously going to be, in any paramilitary or revolution or organization like that, there's going to be people who get killed. Yes, absolutely. I'm not here to be like, yeah, get out there, comrades, and grab your guns or something like that. But yeah, definitely study them. I think they're fascinating.
Yeah.
Are we in the same chat? Oh my god.
Yeah, we're on the same. We didn't mention Antifa, by the way. That's the most extreme of all.
True.
So,
That's the most extreme leftist,
yeah.
and we're all the CEO. All four of us. We are the shareholders of Antifa. You know,
I'm on the board. I'm
Welcome
not
to
the
Antifa.
CEO, but yeah.
You're witnessing. This is behind the scenes. This is what the secret Antifa
Right.
meetings look like right now.
Which, by the way, guys, we do have a meeting this Saturday, so just FYI.
Yep.
Okay. Bonobo.
Yeah, let's roll through this.
Okay, we
need
will.
to get off
We'll
soon.
focus. Bonobo with $5. So, are we basically looking at a libs v lefty schism to throw the election in November? We cool with that? I don't think that that's going to throw the election. I think that the fighting that you see on Twitter is not representative of the actual voting base. I think that what is going to determine the outcome of this election is how many people come out to vote for Biden. A lot of lefties are going to stay home. So the question is, can Democrats mobilize enough new voters? Can they get out voters who have abortion as their number one issue? Can they get out new voters, maybe some disillusioned Trump supporters? I think that is not a good strategy. I think the best thing to do is mobilize your base, young people, college students. But we'll see. I don't know. Democrats have been overperforming the polls. But Bonobo, what I would say to you is I wouldn't necessarily put too much stock into the fighting that you see online. I think that we're kind of, to an extent, in an echo chamber. So I wouldn't let that kind of shift your view
I just think it doesn't make sense to divide this by voter regardless. This is on
Exactly.
the Democratic Party, on Joe Biden, and he definitely has lost young people for sure, like a lot of young people for sure. So that's going to be a big issue for him.
That's what people should be mad at too. Like, that's every single time I see someone trying to do the vote shaming, which doesn't work, by the way. It's like,
Literally,
are you more angry? Are you more angry at kids who are protesting genocide than you are at the man who's providing the bombs that drop on the babies' faces? Like, come on. Like,
yeah,
what are we doing here? You know?
I mean, you're if that's the case, like if you're mad at these people and you're voter shaming, you're mad at the powerless. Like, they feel hopeless because they're saying stop the genocide that we're funding.
Powerless, yes.
And
That's
their
the other
only
part.
sense of power that they have, And to even call it a power is not true because we don't have like that much power in voting. But the only sense of power that they have is to withhold their votes for Biden because that's their one way of making their voices heard. And that doesn't necessarily mean that they want Donald Trump, but they just feel like there has to be some accountability and they want their voices to be heard. Like you can disagree with that. That's fine. I'm not saying you have to agree with that voting strategy. But you can't blame them. You have to blame the powerful, not the powerless. If you're blaming people with no money and no power, you've gone wrong. Voter shaming does not work. And that goes the other way too. Like if you're voter shaming somebody in Arizona because they're sucking it up and they're voting for Biden begrudgingly to stop Donald Trump, I think it's wrong to shame them too. Like people do not have power in this country. And we have a minimal amount of say in our elections.
Also, Joe Biden is doing more to get Donald Trump elected than anyone on this panel ever could.
Literally.
Ever could. No, we do not have the power to do what Joe Biden is doing to get Donald Trump elected.
Yeah. Yeah, we might have like relatively large platforms, but in the grand scheme of things, we're farting in the wind. Nobody's hearing us. We don't have that much influence. That's just
like you might make the libs feel good for a day to be like, you fucking pesky leftists, why would you support the genocide or something? But like honestly, Biden is doing way more to alienate voters than I ever could as a Canadian internet guy.
Right? Man, if I had as much power as people said,
people attribute way too much power to
country.
us. It's absurd. Like I wish I had as much power as people think I do.
Right.
All right, I'm gonna roll through mine because I have to go. But,
okay, I'll save the spot. Go ahead.
Okay.
Lanoms, $5. Thank you. Says contrast Biden's response to these protests and the BLM protests. Yeah, I saw someone on Twitter doing that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a disgrace that he's fallen so fast with the shoe on the other foot.
Yep.
Yeah. Still alive. Thank you for the $9.99. This fair electoral YouTube channel I watch called Let's Talk Elections has Trump inching out a victory over Biden 272 to 266. He has Trump winning Michigan and Nevada, but Biden winning Arizona and Wisconsin. Thoughts? I mean, shot in the. I don't know. I have no thoughts because we don't fucking know. At this point, it's so. I think it's likely Trump at this right now, as of now, wins Michigan because of the obvious contingent there that both young people, but also the American population is just is concentrated there, and they're not right now supporting Biden for obvious reasons.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to the others, I don't know. I mean, it would just be pure guessing at this point. I do think, as things stand, Trump is probably in a better position because Democrats have to rely on turnout, and turnout right now is not really favoring the Democratic Party. Narrator.
Abortion could move the I guess the polls.
Yeah, that's going to be
that would be
one
the closest
issue
thing to a Hail Mary I can think of.
Exactly.
Narrator, $10 super chat. Thank you. Says it is important for all of humanity that a president not be elected after zealously. I can't even say that word. Supporting the genocide of people.
But
I understand. Yeah,
I understand that too, but
you're not really. I wouldn't say that's the argument because both of them are supporting the genocide. So
we're beyond fucked regardless of the outcome. Just like the level of fucked is going to be what we can change.
Yeah,
but I agree with the sentiment.
Kuya Damon, $10 super chat. Thank you. Says, tell me why it feels like the Biden campaign is doing all the political side quests. Political side quests. That's a great term.
Oh my
for
God.
sure. I should use that. I may have to use that.
Avoiding the main quest, the ceasefire.
Wow. Yeah, political side quest, declassifying marijuana, protecting reproductive rights, etc., and still avoiding the main quest.
That is such a good chat.
And by the way, I would
I've
be
noticed
celebrating in a different timeline if this wasn't happening. Myself, and I bet everyone else too would be like, did you know we just forgave a whole bunch more student debt? Did you know they just suddenly declassified, or what is it? No, not declassified. Net neutrality, it's back. That's another big win. Like I would be stacking this shit. I would be like, holy shit, there's so many good things, and it's all like fucking. It's all muted by his nonstop support of what Benjamin Netanyahu. You're throwing this all away.
Yeah,
for Israel. No,
it's insane.
Biden.
Fenrir 787, thank you for the super chat. Says these kids are sticking their necks out. How do we help them? Is there legal aid or support that can be supported? Scholarships, something, ACLU.
Oh, there's a link. Let me find it.
There is a Do you have the link, Mike?
I'm finding it right now. I forgot. Right. I just want to get it right. It is.
As you find it, I'll just move on to the next
Okay,
one.
yeah.
Ms. Warner, $5 super chat. Thank you. Says when you run out of intellectual ammo, throw insults. Yeah, I assume this is about the ugly thing.
It's campusbailfunds.com.
Campusbailfunds.com.
Yeah.
There you go. Let me find my place. Oh my God, there's a lot of chats today.
Mm-hmm.
Fenrir again, thank you. To all the Stellar Blade weirdos that want more cleavage, did anyone tell them that Rule 34 does exist? They can find all they want. They can find all they want on that. LOL, happy face.
They'll never listen to the you can always just goon to anything else argument, because ultimately this really at its misogynistic core gets down to them wanting to control women. Like it's not like they hate all of the streamers on Twitch, women who actually will work hard and then present themselves sexually in as their form of entertainment. They hate that. They call them whores and prostitutes and OnlyFans, blah blah blah. They don't want women to be in power of their own sexuality. They want to control a fictional video game character and have it be as hypersexualized as possible to be like, yeah, fuck yeah, we got it back, look what they took from us. No, and you're like, it's a lot less funny when you get to its root than laughing at weirdos,
right?
Being but that's ultimately at the core of it all.
Ashley, thank you for the $20 super
1
chat.
and 0 and
amazing.
2.
I appreciate the support. It says, please speak on Mahul Prajapati, the international Wilfrid Laurier student being dragged by online posts claiming he's stealing from food banks. 1, false. 2, Canada needs to provide up-to-date cost of living estimates to international students. I do not know anything about this topic, but thank you for making us aware. Jenny Annie, thank you for your super chat. Says, enjoying the banter and happy to know Manginas are
Mangina of the year isn't here right now. He'll return shortly.
There's the Mangina.
Oh, Mangina of the year. Yeah.
You say the word and I appear. It was the Mangina of the year, like 2014, by the way. This is the 10-year anniversary.
There's a lot of competition that year.
Wow.
Obama.
Barack Obama. Yeah. Stephen Colbert.
Yeah.
Crazy.
To beat them, that's just honestly so commendable.
You can honestly say, you beat Barack Obama.
Yeah.
They dropped the ball.
Still alive. Thank you for the super chat. Says Bo, generous super chat, $9.99. Says Bo of the fifth column argues that the Gaza/Israel debacle won't impact much in the election because most people, aka normies, don't vote based on foreign policy. Thoughts from anyone on the panel? That is incorrect based on the younger vote, young people, based on polling we're seeing right now. It is definitely having an impact.
Michigan is a crucial swing state. Michigan has an overwhelmingly large Arab and Muslim population.
Right.
I mean, it depends on the state, right?
In large numbers.
No, but that's right. That's the thing. It doesn't need to affect the mainstream. It just needs to affect all the right people in all the right states.
Yes.
Yeah. The margins are very thin right now.
Yeah. The reason he won in 2020 are a lot of those voters and the same ones he's right now rejecting.
Yep.
2 more. Dragon Templar. Thank you for your super chat. Says, did Biden's speech this morning about the protests boil down to them being anti-Semitic? Honestly, I didn't watch it because I saw the first quote. I'm like, this is enough bullshit. I absorb so much bullshit every fucking day. I can't watch it all. But
I don't think he played the anti-Semitic card, but he did. I don't think. I didn't watch the whole thing. I just saw a clip, but he did say that disruption is not protest and other ahistorically inaccurate things. Yeah, it was all about how
disruption is literally protest. It's so insane that he said that.
And the Sing in the Left, $5 super chat. Thank you. Says, do you guys think? Actually, there's one more after this. Do you guys think with FCC and FTC changes, the changing of marijuana from Schedule 1 to 3 and the entire airline refund policy is going to help Biden in November? As someone said earlier, these political side quests are I don't think so, because a lot of the same people that this stuff appeals to are the same people that care a lot about the human rights in Gaza. And
also, I can't imagine anyone is an airline refund policy voter. I'm sorry. I mean, it's good, but it's not really a one issue vote type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you're outraged about Gaza and you're not going to vote for Joe Biden, it's not going to be like, oh, well, he did deschedule marijuana, so I guess I could forgive him for the dead babies. Like, if you're outraged about Gaza, you're fucking outraged about Gaza. So I genuinely don't think it's going to help him. Because I care about these issues.
Airline refund, 30,000 dead, but I get the airline refund.
Although there was language slipped into that provision, by the way, that waters that down. So don't count your chickens before they hatch yet on that.
Also, if you're like, someone who marijuana is an important voting issue for you, why would you vote for Biden if he's forcing you to move it from number 1 on your schedule to number 3? It's obviously the priority. You want.
I had to wait for that fucking joke. All right, last super chat. Susie, $10. Thank you. 74 lifelong.
Is the game still going
on? It just ended. They won, and it's fucking amazing.
Oh, wow.
They pushed it to Game 7 after being down 3-1 in the series. I am so pumped, and they're probably going to lose Game 7 as I predicted, but we'll see.
Yes,
Susie, $10. 74 lifelong Dem, but can't vote Biden. We need a strong third-party candidate in a better political system. First past the post is you're not. Who was it in? I'm forgetting his name. Ross Perot had a large percentage of the vote, but it didn't mean shit when it came to the Electoral College because the system is first past. It didn't mean anything. So even the percentage of vote doesn't really matter until you have some actual power within the system where you need to win. So it's third parties are a waste until the system changes.
Yeah, it's a protest vote, but they can't
jump off and celebrate this amazing victory by the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Have fun.
Have fun, get wild.
Wait, what is that?
Max Domi
Butthead.
And Max Domi's here, and that's Tyler
Who
Bertuzzi.
do they play next?
It is Boston.
Well, they haven't finished this round yet.
Playoff series. This is the first round. Leafs were down 3-1. I thought for sure they were dead, and now they're back to Game 7, or they're going to Game 7, and we'll probably lose Game 7. But I'm enjoying it right now.
Pretty huge.
It's okay.
Well, Rangers are doing really good.
Rangers were of course, going to blow past that. I also predicted that Rangers in 4 against the Capitals because Capitals are terrible. But yeah, Rangers. I predict Rangers and Oilers in the final, so we will see that possibly.
Ooh.
That would be a good final.
I gotta go to a game, man. This is gonna be fun.
Rangers are pretty good this year. They can go far.
Yeah.
For sure.
Islanders didn't. Islanders are gone, unfortunately.
They didn't have the team wasn't strong enough.
Can't have two. Yeah.
Actually, I have my bracket online. Proof that I also predicted that one, that they would lose 5-1 in that series. But then I got everything else wrong, so that doesn't matter. All right. Goodbye. Good night. See you guys next week.
Bye.
Lance, do you want to do
whoa,
yours?
Whoa. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I hate when we get so close like that.
I'll quickly rattle them off. Narrator with the $10. It is important for American democracy that a candidate not be elected after attempting to overthrow the government. Oh shit, I didn't even notice. Hey, what's up? Everybody, it's Chico. Oh, you're looking extra cute now. Oh, what a beautiful croissant. Yeah,
beautiful light.
Yeah. Yeah. So, is it important for American democracy that a candidate not be elected after attempting to overthrow the government of the United States? Agreed. Kuya Demon with the $2. Lance, you can actually receive super chats. Oh my god, I can and did. Joshua.
Well, for me, I think it's. I just have to interrupt you there. I actually think it's important that we don't elect a candidate who supports people who break windows. That to me is the number one issue.
Single issue voter. Yeah, broken
right.
Yes, no broken windows. Right. And so as far as I've seen, Joe Biden's the only one to stand up to the window breakers.
Joshua J. Sean with the, I think, 100 yen. Thank you so much. Netanyahu loving it. Acts like he doesn't. U.S. media attention is relying heavily on the protests. Bombing continues, facing limited media cameras. Awesome. I think you're seeing the manufacturing of consent happen in real time and get debunked also in real time, which is the fun part. It's really neat watching like people go on all these shows and then afterwards people like Van Pinder are basically like, yeah, you can find the bike lock right on the website. It's over here. It's cool. Looney Tunes with the $2 talking about boobas is better than a Piers line. I agree. Romeo Alpha 68, thanks for becoming a member. Badash 29, thank you for the $5. Celebratory super chat for the troll getting banned in chat. Hell yeah. And then Dusty Den with the 3 months. After violently arresting students on my campus, the cops had a huge recruiting event the next day. They brought dune buggies and speedboats. Sick. That's fucking ridiculous.
They're
That's
so
absolutely
evil.
ridiculous. That's oh my god. Fucking
So fucking evil. I
you
swear
could
to
be
God.
on the side of the Skull Crushers, come Team Skull Crusher right over here. Yeah, hell yeah.
We've got dune buggies. Okay, so I believe we're right here. This one is from me, from Narrator. Thank you again, Narrator. I appreciate all of your generous super chats. How long will we capitulate to the majority that feels no empathy for brown people? It's never practical to stand against white supremacy. I'd rather vote in spite of white supremacy than in spite of, Yeah, I feel you, Narrator. It's so frustrating, the situation that we're in again and again and again. And I think that your feelings are absolutely valid. I agree with you. Like it's so obnoxious that we can never have just we're functionally Democrats. In Oregon, we have a closed primary system. So I'm registered as a Democrat so that way I can participate in primaries. But it's like, this is like an abusive relationship, right? I don't want to be in this relationship, but I can't leave. Because then I can't come back if there's a primary and I see a progressive like Bernie Sanders running that I really like. It's just fucked up, though. But yeah, I agree with you. I think that we shouldn't have to capitulate, but we have to change the system so that way we actually do have more options. And to be fair, it's not just us that's stuck in this shitty two-party duopoly system. There's a lot of other countries that even if they don't have duopolies, they have first-past-the-post systems like Canada, for example, and that fucks them over as well. So it's a shitty situation. Our electoral system is trash. And not just our electoral system. Our entire system is dog shit. I mean, we have this electoral college to where somebody who doesn't even get more votes can win. That's what happened, with Donald Trump. It's awful, right? The founders were complete dipshits, despite what everybody tells you when you're growing up. They were morons. The system is trash. It was built on slavery and racism and white supremacy. So yeah, we need to change that system. This one is for
me.
you.
The vid. It's DDD David DDD. No, wait, this isn't for me. This is
David.
This is actually from someone who sent me a super chat, but this isn't the super chat. This is for someone else.
Oh, okay. It's not for me, so maybe it was for David, or maybe it's for Rebecca. No, I think this is for David, and he missed it. Watching CNN, Fox, MSNBC side by side at the gym this morning. Same talking points. If you only listen to the audio, you wouldn't be able to tell them apart. Yeah, that's what's really striking, right? All of the media, they're in lockstep in demonizing these protesters. It doesn't matter what you're watching. You wouldn't be able to tell. If you just took quotes and, about the protesters, you wouldn't be able to ascribe who said it to MSNBC, Fox. It's awful. It's making me feel like I'm losing my fucking mind.
Yep.
Now this one's for me. Fitting that Biden is a fan of Genocide Morning Joe. Yes.
Yeah.
Butcher Biden.
Kuya Demon, $5. Thank you so much. Just upgraded my Patreon membership to you. Oh, that's so nice. Thank you. Hopefully I can make it to your monthly Zoom call. Remember your mental health too, Mike. We care about you. That is so kind. I really appreciate you saying that. I'm perfectly fine, so don't worry about me. Yeah, it'd be nice to see you. For those who don't know, the first Friday of every month, I do a Zoom call with members. And it's always a lot of fun. It goes on for hours and hours, and I have the same people coming for years. You basically, if you're a member, you get to come in after that, even if you cancel, because I have a little Twitter group chat that I add you to, so that way you don't have to keep paying to talk to us every single month, because it's basically the same people. But yeah, it's always really fun, and it's always really nice to see new faces. So I hope to see you there. Even if you just drop in to say hi, that'd be awesome. Okay, so this one is for me, actually. Fiam with $20. I really appreciate that. Wow, that is so generous. I don't have the sound bites, but thank you. Eric Adams himself led the police raid and captured the supreme Hamas elite commander in their 50-mile-long tunnel networks under Colombia. Yeah, he's doing a victory lap. Such a fucking clown. This one was for Narrator, but I think that David Doel read it.
Yes.
So, but thank you, Narrator. Okay, this one, Ignar Husky, member super chat. Thank you. I was at Portland State University on May Day, and some agitators walking their dog did the same thing, Mike. It's absurd and frankly was laughable. It was peaceful, by the way. Absolutely. One thing that happens at PSU, for those who don't know, so PSU is it blends in with the city of downtown Portland, but then you have these park blocks. And then, the classrooms, they're around the park blocks, but then it kind of merges with the city. And in the park blocks, you got a lot of people that just don't go to the college. They walk their dogs and stuff like that. And so you got the normies, the people who don't go to school coming through just to look at the protesters and see the spectacle. And there's always something going on. When I was going there, people were protesting Leon Panetta coming to speak. It's a very progressive, open-minded campus, and the students are absolutely peaceful. Taking over a fucking library is civil disobedience. It's not violence. And again, nobody uses the library. Okay, so stop pretending like you're all being denied.
I love how
something.
you have the inside scoop. You're like, yeah, that was just never there. Or sorry, you were there, but it was always empty, right? That's what you were saying.
Every single time. Maybe there was 2 other people. It's a beautiful, huge library. It's built around a huge tree. And I would always go up to the 6th floor to study. Never anybody there. There's 3 other people there. People pass by and whatnot, but it doesn't get a lot of traffic because a lot of people just look shit up online and whatnot. So stop pretending like you're all so inconvenienced by the library. And guess what? If you're inconvenienced by the library like me, I would have been if I wouldn't be able to use it. Suck it up, because it's a great cause. Okay, you should care more about genocide than you not being able to use the library. Okay.
Broken window.
Or broken.
Oh, the person who was I think to the right of the center in the panel with the Piers Morgan, they work for PragerU, and the guy had done this. Yeah, and he did this thing where he filmed a bunch of shit for his TikTok where he infiltrated one of the camps. I can't remember which one. Just to film the fact that some students had pissed in a bucket because they're in a camp, right? In the middle of a camping, you may pee in a bucket. And he's like, it was disgusting. They're peeing in buckets. They haven't washed themselves. It's so gross, doing this whole thing. And I was like, did you want the polite disobedience or the
right.
clean civil disobedience or the proper one? How clean do you have to be able to protest a genocide? I'm not entirely sure.
Right. Okay. So I don't know if you heard him say this, but he said that they were pissing in gender neutral buckets.
Yeah, gender neutral buckets.
It's would they be specifically gendered? I mean, it's
the man bucket. You stay away from the man bucket.
Don't you dare pee. That one's for the women. What? What are we talking about here? So ridiculous.
Feet in the woman bucket. Am I gay?
Matt, I think this one is for you, by the way.
Kuya Damon with a $10 super chat. I almost sound like a 2016 right-winger criticizing the mainstream media on Gaza. U.S. media is completely in lockstep with Zionists, and yet those same right-wingers are so quiet in this moment. It's so frustrating, Matt. Yeah, because these guys never cared about free speech or anything like that. They care about their ability to spout out exactly what they want. They don't care about free speech. It's the biggest bullshit in the world. Friggin', they're all, what is it? What's her face? Barry Weiss and the Free Press. This free speech herself out there cheering on.
And then she canceled herself. She canceled her own job.
Right.
They're going to fire me for my beliefs. And it's I quit. Okay.
I do. What is funny, though, is that this hypocrisy of the free speech crowd is leading to some division on the right. I saw Glenn Greenwald actually called out Barry Weiss. Which
all right.
You love to see
Let
it.
them fight.
Yeah,
Let
absolutely.
them fight.
Let them fucking fight.
Oh yeah.
John Barlick with $5. I appreciate that. Brown University and Northwestern in Illinois have divested. It's not hard to the universities have to just act and divest brothers and sisters. Yeah, you know what? I don't know for sure if it's a complete victory yet. I know that they're at least open to having a dialogue. And I mean, if you're not even willing to do that, which is the bare minimum, then fuck you. I hope these students give you hell, because they're the ones who make your university successful. Their tuition dollars are funding that university. So if you can't even be open to talking about what they want, then yeah, you are the enemy too.
Also, if you're an elderly person in Mike's view, you're an enemy too.
You're the ultimate, the final boss.
You know, it would surprise people. So, old people actually love me, and I do love old people, contrary to popular belief. When I was working in retail,
I feel like
at
Binder
Walmart,
has exacerbated this room.
yeah. So when I was working at Walmart, do you want to know who my best friend was? My favorite coworker? It was an old lady who worked in the fabric department. Every single time during lunch, we would gossip.
Where this is going.
We'd gossip about management, and yeah, I miss her.
You miss her?
I haven't talked to her though. She doesn't have a computer, so we've lost touch. So she was my favorite coworker though. There, I just did that. I'm not ageist. I have an old friend, but you get what I mean.
Mike is about to shock us all and tell us about his very real Harold and Maude experience.
I'm just kidding. I made up that story. I hate old people. No, for reals though. No, I kid. What's funny is I actually got an email from an older person, and like they're in on the joke, like, "Hey, I know, I'm a boomer, so I know you hate me, winky face." Like, and then they went on. It's like, it's funny how they're like playing it on it. I don't hate anyone, okay, unless they're a bad person, regardless of age.
And you can choose not to be a bad person too.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not the way you were born. That's the difference.
Right.
Hold on, I gotta just Josh Miller in the someone's chat. Believe me, old people love me. Believe me.
Old people say I'm the best young person ever.
Yeah.
I do think this is for you, right?
Not for me. Nope.
No? Okay, this must be for David. I'll read it. Ryan Lennon fan, 5 Canadian. Thank you. Before you go to the second half, please show Biden throwing away his electoral chances in November in his speech today, saying students wouldn't change his mind. Oh, yeah, we didn't talk about that.
Oh, I forgot about
that specific part, right? Where somebody had asked him, are these protesters changing your mind? And he said, no. It was just, I don't remember exactly what happened, but it was very, very fucked up. I don't know if you all want to watch the clip and belabor this anymore, but it made me pissed
I've
off.
got enough Biden for the day.
That's what I'm feeling too.
Yeah.
Okay. I think this is Matt.
No, it's not.
No. Okay. Well, Miss Warner, $5. When you run out of intellectual ammo, throw insults. Exactly.
Hell yeah.
Reference to Megyn Kelly. Just call him ugly and you win the argument immediately.
Oh man, I hear so many right wingers use that talking point. Pundits too. Like I've watched entire segments where Tim Pool's just calling people like ugly and just being like, "Oh, it's just a scientific fact that right wingers, if you look at the data, they're considered more attractive on average." And it's like,
You know
even if
what?
that was
You
true,
said that. But you know what you said
so
that?
weird.
Who fucking cares? Who
Right.
fucking cares?
Right.
It does guide my politics. Hot or not. How many
Don't
hotties are
give
on
a
this
shit.
side?
I just don't understand. Like, first of all, that's stupid. But why would you even be thinking about that? I feel like it's so childish. Like, you have to know all the lefties are ugly and everyone on my side is attractive. Like, how old are you?
Yeah, there could be hot Nazis. They still need to be destroyed, because Nazism needs to be destroyed. Like
Right.
you're not gonna, but
Yeah, that doesn't change anything.
I can
like
fix it,
Candace Owens. I think Candace Owens is objectively beautiful. She's still a horrible human being. That doesn't it doesn't change anything. It's irrelevant. It's a non sequitur. I don't understand why they bring this up.
We're not going down the problematic crush revelations, right? That's going to require at least $100 donation.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, this one is for me. D Chad with $10 Canadian. Thank you so much. All those historical protests you refer to, plus Rainforest, Coke, Nestle, women's rights, those were boomers. We're not all ignorant right-wing idiots. Thanks for backing off on bashing us. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a lot of the students, they acknowledge they're following in the footsteps, right? Like, we're all
iterative in a sense. You know what I
So
mean?
we're clear. I think when any of us use the term boomer, we're not referencing from the always the boomer generation. I'm usually referencing someone who's acting in such a way that oh man, you're being a boomer. Either you don't know how to use the internet while you're talking to people on the internet, right? Not you could be young and be a boomer in that regard. Just if someone's being ridiculous. Yeah, it's not an age thing. It's a
mentality.
Yeah, get real libertarian with it. Age is but a number.
Exactly. Or maybe not, but
Wait, is it true that the Israeli government responded, the official account responded to someone on Twitter with age is just a number? Is that tweet real and then it's been deleted now? Is that
I
real?
haven't seen this.
Oh, okay. I've seen a lot of people post it, but it's one of those ones I don't know if I've ever seen the Wayback Machine link. So that's why I'm always there's so much fake shit that goes around now.
I mean, the fact that you're questioning it, and I don't know, it shows you how unhinged that account is. The shit they're posting.
It's true.
I mean, if you saw a different government, you think, oh, of course, this is obviously fake. When people post the fake screenshots of Joe Biden jerking off with lotion on his dick, we know that's fake because he wouldn't tweet that, right? I've got lotion on my dick, my hands on my dick. We know that he wouldn't tweet that. But with the Israel account, they would tweet.
I don't know. It had a check mark. Mike, it had a check mark. It was an official account. It was the official account. It had the check mark. It had to be real.
Must be real. Okay, I think this is for you, Matt.
Omega with the super chat. Gooners be like, they're my tatas and I need them now.
What is that? Oh, okay. So it was some commercial. It's my money and I want it now, or something.
Want it now, right? Yeah.
I don't remember what company that was for. Another one for you, Matt.
No, it's not for me.
No?
Nope.
Okay. Must be for David. Prairie Fire, Kowalski 999. Thank you, sir. I'm conflicted on the protests. On the one hand, I like the First Amendment, but a great Middle East conflict is good for grain prices. Civil liberties versus a jet ski. What has being ethical done for me? Yeah, I mean it's tough.
Kowalski's on his evil
villain arc,
his
yeah.
evil era, yeah.
Yep. Shami Sengupta with £5. Thank you. Israeli U.S. professor of genocide at Brown University, Omer Bartov, on Democracy Now! Said Zionist students should not be pandered to because they've been propagandized. I have not seen that interview, but it sounds interesting. Let me see. Where are we? Okay. There we
Jerome
go.
Thorpe with a super chat. I'd be happy to purchase a professional protester to speak my voice and risk arrest for me. Where do I send my cash? Yeah, it is the stupidest shit, man. Professional protester. What do they think? Seriously, what the fuck do they think? It's so dumb. Such a stupid thought process.
They unironically think that people have 9-to-5s protesting professionally. That's what they think.
Clocking in at the protest factory.
Where are we going today? Okay, let's go ahead. Down on Broadway. We'll be there.
I mean, the funny thing is there are obviously non-grassroots, completely astroturfed events and things like that. The funny thing is, it primarily happens on the right because the fact is the left's got no money. There's no major organizations on the left.
George Soros. That's
George
what
Soros. Yeah, that's
what
our
Valuetainment
that's our sugar daddy. That's our sugar daddy. That's the only guy we got. Right.
We all got the check from him. I was watching Majority Report's coverage about this, and they were talking about how what's the guy's name? PBD, Patrick Bet David. Him and his little cronies. Yeah. And Tulsi Gabbard was there, and they were talking about George Soros funding the protests. Just shut the fuck up. You are so stupid.
It is
and they were like, why would a Jewish guy fund these anti-Semitic protests? And Sam's point was yeah, it's almost like it's not happening, right? And of course they're not anti-Semitic, but so stupid.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a really good super chat. It's not for me though.
It's not for me either.
Well, it must be for David. Free the boobas. I agree.
Absolutely.
Archangel is for you, Matt?
Nope.
Okay. Archangel,
$5. Loved Emma's interview today with Owen Jones. I didn't see this. Okay. It really showed how the media has failed everyone in reporting on Gaza genocide. I'm so sad over this. Absolutely. It is a sad thing. I am going to check out that interview, though, because I do think that it's cathartic to see other people like complain about what I feel frustrated about. I'll check that out. I love Owen Jones, love Emma, so that'll be a banger. Another one for me from Shami Sengupta with £5 again. Thank you, Shami. Asmongold's
Oh wait!
opinion-
Oh my God! Something was going on with my I'm sorry. Something was going on with my my super chats.
Not loading?
Yeah, they weren't loading. I just refreshed. They
Oh,
were
okay.
that Kowalski super chat was mine. I'm sorry, Kowalski. Thank you for the $10. The Free the Boobas one from Looney Tunes was mine.
Oh, okay.
That's so weird that it wasn't showing. I want to refresh again and make sure we got everybody's. What the hell?
Well,
Sorry,
Shami
everyone.
says
I appreciate
it. We're still reading them though, so it's okay. Asmongold's opinion of the campus protest is dog shit and propagandized. Tonight, Hasan was
so
gently
bad.
explaining to him why the students are righteous. I really want to watch that. I'm gonna have to check that out because
I think what Asmongold has been doing is genuinely grotesque, and then to have seen him go onto Hasan's thing to be like, everyone is like calling me a fascist. I don't understand. Like, I just feel that, like, you know, if you're at a school, the school has a right to kick you off, and the cops have a right to like do what they did. If you're like, they were spraying, you know, fire extinguishers at the police, and so blah blah blah. And then like Hasan was very calmly and very politely trying to be like, they were firing rubber bullets at students. These are protesters. Like this should scare you to your core, kind of shit, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's honestly, it's disgusting, the shit that he's putting out. And like, for him to have said, like, you know, well, fair enough, I didn't know a lot about any of this kind of stuff, then why are you making videos? He's like, he made a video where he was reacting to Hasan going on Piers Morgan to make fun of him the whole time, and then he's made that other video where he's basically fucking soying out to the cops at UCLA, just being like, whoa, yeah, fucking look at them, fuck around and find out, oh, you know, all that kind of stuff. Like, this is fucking disgusting. If you don't know anything about this, don't make content on it, and then once you do learn about it, maybe say something. Use your platform for good, for a fucking change, you know? Honestly, it's scumfuck behavior.
So detestable. And also, I was literally like nauseous because somebody posted a picture of his blood wall. I actually
God,
got
so gross.
I did
so
not see that. I
gross.
heard about it. I actually got like queasy where I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna fucking vomit. That's so what a disgusting cretin he is.
And the cockroaches and like you're so rich. Like, you can like you can have the most beautiful looking place ever. It's literally like a mattress on the ground, and just like fucking. It just looks so gross and I don't understand it. I have no idea.
Such a gross person inside.
He's
and
turning
out.
me into Jordan Peterson. Clean up your room. Bucko.
Yes, I
Clean
know.
up- clean up your room.
That's
Bucko.
that's how Hasan's detractors want him to live, because he's a socialist. And I gotta say,
Right.
I'm glad Hasan doesn't live like that, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fucking
Yeah.
that's a fucking shameful way to live. Like, my God.
It's terrible. It looks fucking terrible, you know. And you don't even need to be exceedingly wealthy. You just have no excuse at that point for living like that. I'm sorry.
Right.
Like, he can have a team of people massaging and cleaning him all the time, 24/7
Which he
around the
should.
clock. Yeah, which he should. Just like live, like just poking him, prodding him, wiping him down with like little rags and stuff. Like, you can, I don't know. You could afford to do that. I don't even think it would make a big dent in your fortune. Just have a team of masseuses at all times, just spraying you down and cleaning you, rubbing you with
Even
sticks.
if you go broke, get it done. You got to get the hygiene up, man. I mean,
wash yourself.
yeah.
Oh, for the love of God.
For people like,
Just
so
hose them
I'm not
down.
big into I shouldn't even bring up the reference because I'm not big into it. But he's like the Nurgle, the god who's like stinky from what is that? Is that not Warcraft? God damn it, my
I don't
husband's gonna be
know.
mad because I'm fucking up the reference. But there's like
I
a
don't know
stinky
Warcraft
god. That's like Nurgle, and the chat will come through.
Warhammer.
but-
No idea.
Warhammer, that's what it is.
Warhammer.
Yeah.
Oh, is this part of the woke wars on Warhammer right now? Because I know like a lot of people, Grubs
Oh.
included, are really mad that Warhammer went woke, and they apparently said that they're completely fine with trans people, and now they've gone super woke because of it and all this. And it's like, it's a video game / toy line that you make things, right? Like, I come on.
Yeah. Okay.
It makes
Thank you,
makes
chat.
perfect sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand. Logan's like Mike getting Nurgle right, but not getting Warhammer 40K. I know.
In Warhammer, he's the god of disease. There you have it.
Yes, yes.
So is that what you're calling Asmongold?
Yeah, I'm saying that he is a worshiper of that god. He's at least a worshiper of that god. I mean, goddamn. Get your life right with Jesus Christ, not Nurgle, Asmongold.
His house is an altar. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I don't like the next pandemic could start there, literally.
Yeah, it's true. It is ground zero for the next avian flu. It's gonna fucking come out of Asmongold. It's not gonna be from meat markets. It's not gonna be from factory farming. It's Asmongold that's gonna plague it. He is going to spread a plague upon this land. Oh my god.
Fuck. I've literally never been that grossed out by a fucking picture on the internet.
It's in the Bible.
So goddamn gross. Holy shit. Okay, I think this one is for me. Thank you, Chris Corcoran, for the $5. At this point, how would Kamala fare in the election compared to Biden? I feel there's no saving Joe, and he'd be better off resigning, in my opinion. I honestly think Kamala would do better. I honestly do think that she would do better.
She's hated. She is hated.
Yeah, it's just a matter of like who has pissed off young people.
If she did a couple moves, because she's already done the whole kind of like, I didn't think it was an ascension to power, but she did that whole like she stood up and she was like, "We're calling for a ceasefire for 6 weeks," you know, but nothing really came from that. But like I was like, oh shit, is this Game of Thrones? I see before.
Right.
Is she trying to ascend? Is that what's happening right now? You know?
That same week there was the leaked story that somehow got out about how, oh well, you know, she doesn't take responsibility for this. She would have done things differently than Joe Biden.
That's true. I do remember that. Yes.
Yeah.
That also came around the same time. Yeah. That felt like a couple chess pieces. Here's how bad things are. I'm fucking turning into a K-hive. You know, part of me is like,
I think we all need a Mamala. Will you be our Mamala, Kamala?
Oh my god.
Mamala Harris. Fucking cringe. Oh, that was without I'd say equal one of the cringiest things. If it wasn't for the whole Grums and Stellar Blade, that would be the cringiest thing of the week. The whole, I saw the funniest tweet. Someone was like, Drew Barrymore always talks to people like she's fiending for coke and has no money.
I gotta pull up the clip now that you said that.
And then when you see her and like just staring at her like, we need Mamala. Mamala, can you be Mamala Harris? I'm like, oh my god, it's true. It's true.
Okay, I'm gonna pull this up because we've spoken into the universe, and for people who haven't seen this, we need them to see this. Okay, give me 1 second.
It's so weird.
I keep thinking in my head that we all need a mom. I've been thinking that we really all need a tremendous hug in the world right now.
Yeah.
But in our country, we need you to be Mamala of the country.
I've never seen Kamala that uncomfortable.
I know.
Oh, Drew, stop.
A woman who respects so much and wants to share and wants to be confident and has no ounce of me that has competitiveness.
Yeah.
When we lift each other up, we all rise.
That's exactly right.
Drew.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, listen, I've never felt sorry for Kamala before until I saw this clip. I genuinely feel for Kamala.
I felt maybe that was the whole point of it. Maybe it's like, how can we humanize Kamala Harris to a lot of people who hate her? Oh,
they're using reverse psychology.
Yeah,
and it's working.
Drew Barrymore at her, right? Throw Drew Barrymore at her. That'll make the world.
Yeah, make it so cringe.
Yeah. Asa Rosa with $5. Thank you, Asa. I told the Vanguard, and now we'll tell you guys another Boeing whistleblower was whacked. I saw that.
I mean, this is just how America operates now.
I guess so.
Corporations can just whack off fucking. Oh man, that's wild. That's wild.
Apparently,
that's the kind of stuff that you hear about, like coming from Russia. Like, oh, he got poloniumed. Oh yeah, he got what's defenestrated or whatever, like the act of being killed by being thrown out a window. You're like, yeah, I mean, that's Russia.
That's
like
where we're at.
America's like, nope, dead.
What were they saying? That he had like a respiratory infection or something like that?
Something like that. Mysterious, isn't it? Strange.
I'm sure it's a coincidence. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, these things do happen randomly.
They do. Twice in the same year.
Oh man, it's such a wild story too, because it's one of those things where like, and then there's the right who made the whole thing even worse by just going real racist with it. They're just like, yeah, this is because of black people. I'm like, no, it's fucking not. If anything, this is very powerful, rich white CEOs deciding, hey, it's in our best interest to make this guy disappear. It's like, yeah, he sleeps with the fishes, kind of thing. Like, oh yeah, all right, they're just whacking off. All right, cool.
God.
Yeah.
I know they scapegoat black people for literally like everything. It's fucking wild to me.
It's so nuts.
0PE 4.99. Thank you. Thank you all for going in on Dana Fash. Yeah, that's a good name for her. I can't stand her fascist ass. I personally think she is one of the worst ones on that dog shit channel. Honestly, yeah, I always kind of viewed her as just like kind of milquetoast, not really offensive, not inoffensive. But after this, she's like one of the worst because she has been so shameless in her lies. So yeah, I'll be paying closer attention to her. She's on my radar. That was just irredeemable in my opinion.
True.
This one is for Darnell Henriquez saying, no, I meant rest in peace. So this must be in reference to an older super chat. Let me just scan through mine really quick. I don't remember now. Binder. Okay, so this was the chat that said, Binder, you look like you belong in a rest in peace t-shirt. So is that a band? Because I genuinely don't know.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, look up the band Rest in Peace, Matt. You might like them. If there's a band. I'm sure there is.
It sounds like a bad name.
I feel like, yeah. Okay, this one is for you,
Omega
Matt.
with a super chat. Mike, I was not ready for the OP archipelago. I can't even say that. Arc.
The One Piece archipelago arc.
Yeah,
archipelago.
Archipelago. Yeah, yeah. It was a wild arc, and I don't know if you're past it, Omega. I'm slightly past it, and it gets real weird, real fucking weird. I'll just tell you that after that arc. I'm in the next arc. But yeah, I'm curious to know your thoughts about that.
Wait, what?
Oh, I was curious to know Omega's thoughts about the arc after the archipelago arc. Yeah, just because it gets very weird. He's or I shouldn't say they're at the same spot in One Piece as I am, so we're kind of keeping up with each other, and it's nice to compare. Okay, where am I? Okay, I think we're right here. And this is for you, I want to say.
No.
No, okay. Well, shout out
Unless
to the
YouTube's
students.
messing me up again. I don't see it.
We'll read it anyway. Henry Wise with $5. Shout out to students at countless smaller colleges organizing divestment rallies, demands all across America. Big ups to Oregon State Super. Yeah, I really, I think that all of these students are so brave, so bold. I mean, this is finals week for a lot of them too. So the fact that they are taking time out of their day and putting their careers at risk to stand up for a good cause, it does give me hope. I think the kids are all right.
Absolutely. This one's for me. Troy Mosin with a super chat. It is really amazing how centrist liberals and demonistic right-wingers are pushing the same Israeli propaganda agenda that I can't tell them apart. Yeah.
Yep.
That'd be a good way to shout out Bad Hasbara podcast, which goes really into depth, debunking a lot of the propaganda and does a really good job.
Yeah. This one's for you again, I believe.
Nope.
No. Okay. Well, Transgrow 420 with 420, very appropriate. It says, what is your favorite fruit?
That's the weed number.
Like a mango or something.
Mango is top 5 by and far, no question.
Mandarin oranges.
I'd say
what? That's your top 5 Mandarin oranges? Really?
They're really good, yeah. Grapes.
Holy shit. Yeah, grapes are good. Grapes can be hit or miss, but there's certainly a lot of great grapes.
How would Mandarin orange? Wait, that was for me. Someone says. I'm sorry. So let me read it. Transgirl 420. What is your favorite fruit? Like a mango or something? I'm answering it. Yeah, I think it's mandarin oranges. I think that might be my favorite. I like all fruits though.
I'm gonna say pineapple number 1.
Oh, pineapples are great. I forgot about pineapples.
No,
Thank
too
you.
late. Too late. You fucked up. You fucked up. That's the only thing you
That's
need from
my
now on.
number 1 now,
Yeah.
motherfucker.
Of
I
course.
got it.
Yeah.
Peaches number 2.
Yeah. Mandarin oranges for life.
Blueberries, strawberries.
You don't have to name every
Pears.
fruit.
Raspberries are great too. Watermelon.
disagree.
Watermelon. I love
Oh,
watermelon.
I forgot
yeah.
watermelon. Oh,
Fucking,
shit.
Yeah, that would probably be my number 1 actually. I fucking
Okay,
love
that's a
watermelon.
good choice.
Yeah. Oh man. I
Okay.
love watermelon.
Man Shovel with a super chat, $5 for Bindo's crypto forensic skills and his excellent UK Subhumans t-shirt. Up the punks. Yes, I am wearing a Subhuman shirt. Absolutely, yes.
Nice.
Next.
I appreciate your shirts. They're very cool.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Asa with $2. Thank you, Asa. Who do you think was the best mayor in NYC? Well, I'm not
Rudy
the best person
Giuliani.
to ask, but yeah, I would just say Rudy Giuliani because think about
Has
the
there been
memes that
anyone
he
else who
brought
comes
us.
close? You know,
New York City has, and an honest answer, New York City has never had a good mayor. It is non-existent. It's never happened.
It's impossible.
They have had a cousin fucker though. They had a mayor who fucked his own cousin.
Really?
Makes sense.
I didn't know this. Wow.
Yeah, Rudy Giuliani married his cousin.
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
He married. Was it first cousin?
I think it was second.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember.
Wow.
Keeping it in the family for sure. He's a cousin fucker. Yeah.
People are under this assumption that New York City, super liberal state, super liberal city, must be very progressive. No, we can't elect people for shit. All of our elected officials suck ass. I mean, with a few exceptions like AOC and such.
Mm-hmm. True. He also
we do have a progressive city council because when you break up the city into small sections, you can elect progressives. But once you start voting for the city as a whole, you get shitty ass mayors.
Rudy also recently admitted to having a hard drive with child pornography on it.
Did he? I didn't know about this.
What?
Yes, he did. It was his way of saying that there's child pornography on Hunter Biden's laptop's hard drive, and so he said he had it in his possession and was aware that there was child pornography on the hard drive, and so he had a separate one that he copied it to in order to be able to give the proper thing to the authorities whenever they decided. So for a while, yeah, he said he had a hard drive with child porn on it. So
unbelievable.
Rudy, what are we doing here?
Yep.
His family needs to rein him in.
Mm-hmm. His cousins especially.
Yes, his cousin wife. Nascent Complacence with $4.99. Thank you. I'm so torn between being super encouraged by the increasingly visible support for Palestine and super concerned by the chilling of free speech. Yeah, I think that those mixed feelings are justified right now. It's a good instinct to focus on the good and try to see the positives. But yeah, I agree with you. With every single issue in this country, we take a step forward, 2 steps back. But yeah, I feel you right there.
Maybe this is for me. I don't even know anymore. I don't see it, but let me read it. Debbie, we in Florida didn't even get a primary. LOL. Right.
I think this is for
Nazik with a $10 super sticker. Thank you so much. That is for me. I see it. Not for me, but I'll read it if it's not for you. Awesome Possum with a super chat. Did any of you dorks see Civil War? How was it? We discussed this a lot actually already. Civil War. I did not see it.
It was bad.
It was bad. I will watch it when it comes to streaming. I'm not gonna go out and see any movie that
So I've seen a random copy accidentally. I wasn't trying to look at it, but it just appeared on screen when I was looking. Yeah, sometimes you just randomly fall into one. So I just want to know what it was all about and talk about one of the most bizarrely cowardly moves to come out of an otherwise incredible fucking writer. I just don't understand where it came from to think okay, I'm going to read the moments and I'm going to do something that really speaks to this moment in history. And this is an important thing. And then people should actually speak about this topic while saying nothing about it.
Yep.
It's the apolitical, super political movie. And I'm astounded by that, and it goes through it goes through such difficult lengths to both be and seem really impactful while being worthless
Yeah.
It's so weird that way. Yeah.
Yeah. It's such a missed opportunity because I think that the scenes were just really gut-wrenching, violent.
Gut-wrenching, well shot, well acted, but well acted for what? Characters I cared nothing about. At any given time in that movie, everyone could have exploded. Like at any point, it's like, oh, whoa, they all exploded. Nothing has changed for me whatsoever in terms of my enjoyment or experience, right? So
imagine if there was a message coupled with that imagery. Like he could have actually said something, but he didn't. He said jack shit.
With that score and cinematography, it's so beautiful how it's shot at times. And it's, again, worthless. It's just like derived. Like, sorry, it's sorry, I did.
Yeah, no, I felt the same exact way.
Than I should be about it.
Some liberal ass shit. And he was on the Pod Save America podcast. I think scolding the left. It's like, oh, I know you're a fucking spineless liberal. Fuck you and fuck your dumbass movie. You took all that talent, great acting, and you wasted it because you're a pussy.
And he's still such a great writer too. I don't understand.
He is. Yeah.
It's like
so bizarre.
I am extremely excited to see a new film this weekend. I saw the TV Glow at Night. It is a film that is written and directed by a non-binary individual, and apparently it's going to be one of the greatest horror films of the year. And it looks incredible. The entire soundtrack is supposed to be original and amazing. And A24 is releasing it, so when it got the A24 backing, it's supposed to be really, really good. So I saw the TV Glow. Watch the trailer. It looks hauntingly amazing. Beautiful.
I'll check it out. I do. Yeah. A24. They tend to put out bangers, which is why I saw Civil War. Yeah.
Yeah, except for Civil War. Fuck.
Rare miss.
Yeah, rare miss. It's called I Saw the TV Glow, Aquarius Dragon. I saw the TV Glow. Yeah.
Rachel Atwood with $2. Thank you. Dems are too reliant on the courts to stop Trump. Yeah, Democrats, I mean, look, weak liberal resistance is how you get fascism, right? There's a story this week about how the Democratic Party is going to step in and save Johnson from Marjorie Greene's ouster. Like, why would they do that for you? And you could get a Democratic Speaker of the House. I wouldn't like Hakeem Jeffries as Speaker, but he's an upgrade compared to Mike Johnson. So they're just like operating against their own interests for no reason. Stupid. Okay. Sakti Plays, thank you for becoming a member. Also, we've got a $5 super chat. Did you see the bill the House passed redefining anti-Semitism? I did, yeah. So for those who don't know, what they're doing is they're trying, They're trying to go with the definition.
Say heroes, Mike.
They're going with this definition of this organization. It's called like Holocaust Remembrance Association. I'm not really sure what its name is, but the guy who actually wrote that working definition that they're using has literally come out and denounced the people who are weaponizing that to stifle free speech. He's like talked about how Zionists have taken that and they've used it to say that, criticism of Israel is anti-Semitic when this is not what I intended. Aside from that, it's just unconstitutional. Like, you can't stifle speech, but they're doing it anyway. We'll see if it passes the Senate, but yeah, frustrating. Okay, this one is for you,
Ryan Lennon fan with a super chat. Beau of the fifth column, human trafficked women. I think this has come up on the show before.
There's a number of people who have done pretty big exposés on it on YouTube that go into the details pretty extensively.
Right. I don't know. I can't help anyone there.
Yeah, I can't speak to that. I don't know anything about
details.
Okay, that was for David. This one's for me, Logan Small, $10. Thank you. Biden doing everything he can to look like a piece of shit, but not quite as bad as Trump is making me consider not voting for the first time in 20 years. What I always say is, I absolutely understand your feelings. Rather than not voting at all, I would still recommend you vote because there are local issues and sometimes ballot issues that are really important. So if you don't want to, check the box on the top of the ticket, I totally understand you, but still consider coming out to vote for down ballot progressive candidates and any ballot issues that are important because you don't want to cede ground on those areas too. So, but yeah, your feelings are valid and justified. It's a very fucked up situation. Asa with $2 says, I'm pissed that some people think we can survive Trump. Yeah, my feelings on that are a little bit complicated. Not because I disagree, but because I think that when it comes to Trump, yeah, I think that technically we could survive as a country, but it would be a different country. I think that it would be at least the start of our real decline into illiberalism. And I think more so what I'm concerned about, because the Trump era will come to an end at some point, I'm concerned about like the next iteration of Trump and how the Republican Party develops further into authoritarianism. Because even though Trump is going to be more effective in a second term because he's learned from the first, I still think that a different Republican will be able to get more done than Trump in terms of fascism. But like either way, we're on that slow march towards fascism regardless. When Biden is president, we're still marching there, right? We're just doing it slower. When Trump's there, we march there a lot faster. I think like the next 10 years or so are going to be really crucial for the country in determining our trajectory for like the rest of our lives.
Narrator with a $20 super sticker. Thank you, narrator.
Okay, this one is for you.
Guamu with a super chat. 200 Mexican pesos. Nice. I often hear Leftist Mafia complaining how awful toxic X Twitter has become. Using Mexican X, I'd agree. It's been getting worse, but nothing out of the ordinary. Last week I was in the U.S. and holy shit, it really is a shitstorm over there.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. I mean, yeah. I guess there's not many like. I mean, it exists, but I'm sure not in the numbers of like neo-Nazis and people openly praising Adolf Hitler on Mexican Twitter.
Yeah. I think this is you.
I'll read it. I don't see it. But Sky with a $10 super sticker. Thank you so much. It's not for me, but I'll read it too because we I want to get out of here. I'm tired.
Yeah.
James, do we like Daily Zeitgeist and Behind the Bastards? I'm not familiar with Daily Zeitgeist, but Behind the Bastards is good.
Behind the Bastards. Oh yeah.
That sounds familiar, but I'm not like
Robert Evans' podcast where he basically, as the tin describes, you get what you pay for. It's him describing bastards throughout history. The history's most famous bastards. Everyone from Elon Musk to Rupert Murdoch to you name it. There's
that sounds good.
Bastards on it.
Fat bastard from Austin Powers.
Of course.
Go ahead. Continue.
ABS, Anonymous Bastard of Society with $5. Thank you so much. Got fired from Walmart last Sunday. Oh, I'm sorry. Also, my favorite mobile game shut down. Damn, double punch. Do you guys think that Trump is going to jail? Probably not.
Not if he becomes president. That's for sure.
Especially that, yeah.
If he becomes president, he's going to be pardoning himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, Supreme Court's already been like, yep, you're set up. You're good to go. You can pardon
I'll believe
yourself.
it when I see it.
The president is above, the law.
Reagan in the money with a super chat. How did you send $5.03? I've never seen that before. You could send 3 cents. Weird. Even shitlibs can't answer this. What's going to be your enforcement mechanism for silencing dissent? College kids get the rope. What's the play?
I mean, they're going to keep beating and tasing and pepper spraying and doing everything outside of killing them. If a kid does die, like has already happened before in U.S. history, like look at Kent State, I think that will, of course, make things accelerate everything. Then people will be hitting the streets. Then if you were thinking of violence occurring before, holy fuck, you'll see fucking places burn. I'm not saying this to be inflammatory. I'm saying this that like legitimately people are so fucking disgusted and angry and simultaneously terrified and feeling hopeless around this topic that the worse you are making it by accelerating everything rather than listening to the students, talking to them, trying to hold any kind of negotiations between them and their demands. Ask the student counselor, the student body, if they want to vote to again divest. It is a completely reasonable ask to be like, if I go to this institution, I pay hundreds of thousands of dollars sometimes in tuition, I should be allowed to say that you don't invest in a military industrial complex with my money. Fuck that noise. And that's again not the most unreasonable ask ever.
Zero PE with a super chat. I'm still salty about Cynthia Nixon losing all these years later. LOL. Oh, let me tell you about it. I worked for that campaign. I worked for that. She was a fantastic candidate. She's a real one. She's legit. Best vote I've ever made.
Yeah, I love her. Okay, we've got $10 from Narrator. Thank you, Narrator, again. Don't give in to Biden losing to Trump. We need the left to start rallying behind someone, not give up. Stop saying swing state. We need to say we will work to defeat Biden, call their bluff. I will never stop saying swing state because I am not going to just allow a fascist like Trump to win. I have trans family members who would be greatly affected by that. So I will never just say, let's let Trump win. You'll never hear me say that. And we're not going to defeat Biden. That's the thing. And calling their bluff doesn't mean anything because they would rather lose than give in to us. Like I went through all of this in 2016 where I'm like, oh, we can huff and puff and they're going to listen to us if we withhold our votes. They don't care. They don't care about losing. That's the thing that you have to realize about Democrats is that if it means that like they hand this election to Trump, that's just an opportunity for them to fundraise about Donald Trump. When the country goes to shit, they benefit from it. When Roe v. Wade was repealed, they started sending out those fundraising emails. Like the Democratic Party is run by elites who are insulated from the things that Donald Trump does. They don't care. Like we are the ones who are affected. Like marginalized people are the ones who are affected. So that's why if you say I'm not going to vote for you, they don't give a shit. So it doesn't matter. Like you're not going to influence them. To the extent that people vote third party, it's just the protest. It's just saying, I don't want to support this system, but it doesn't make a difference in the sense that the Democratic Party is going to be moved by it because they fundamentally are uninterested in winning. If they win, awesome. But it comes down to fundraising, keeping their jobs. All the consultants, win or lose, they keep their jobs. So that's what you've got to understand. They do not care about winning. Balthazar 228, thank you for the $9.99. You should have Vosh on one of these weeks. He's been one of the most consistently correct leftist voices of the last couple of years. I agree he's been consistent, but I'm not interested in bringing on somebody with that past and that controversy. I would rather not have to deal with any of that, which I'm not even going to address. I'm just being honest. I don't want the shit associated with that. And so
I know exactly what Matt Binder is thinking right now. I know the sentence that is going on in his head. I can read his mind. I can do a Charles Xavier.
Matt, say it.
A Charles Xavier. I can feel his thoughts.
Say it, Matt.
What? I'm sorry. I'm so tired. I fell asleep. What's going on?
Short stack, thick like a goblin.
Oh, right. Short stack, thick like a goblin. I'm sorry. I'm exhausted.
I don't do it as well as you, so I you know. This one's for you.
Daniel Capon with a super chat. Please discuss Kenny Klippenstein leaving The Intercept. Sure, Kenny Klippenstein left The Intercept. I mean, you should read it. There's a lot there if you haven't read it yet. I think it's a good move for him, obviously. He's built a large following. He already has a bunch of people subscribed to his newsletter. It makes sense. It absolutely makes sense. I hope to be following that model very soon in terms of launching a newsletter that people hopefully pay for.
Narrator with $10. Thank you, Narrator. Go out and actually flip off the Dem Party. The children are risking everything, and we can't risk getting a thumb wagging from genociders blaming us for Biden losing. Say it, swing state or not. I mean, I'll just reiterate the same thing that I said. They don't give a shit. They don't care if you protest. They don't care if you withhold your vote. They don't care about winning. And again, I was where you were in 2016. It was the first time I voted third party. I thought that the Democratic Party would be like, oh no, they're going to not vote for us. They just don't give a shit, right? They don't care if you hate them and flip them off. It doesn't matter to them. So no, I'm not going to tell people definitely don't vote for Biden in a swing state because that hurts people that I care about. Full stop. So I understand, I'm not saying you have to vote for Biden in a swing state. I'm not going to voter shame you. I'm just saying I'm not going to actively cede ground to fascists. That is not going to be something you see me doing. And a follow-up from Narrator with $5. 6 months is a long time. Look at the past 6 months. Left is best. Thank you, narrator. This one's for you, Matt.
Sorry. Looking for it. Oh, here we go.
I don't know if you were.
No. Yeah. I'm. Najra with a super chat. I voted you for Mangina of the Year in 2014. Now I'm trans. Used to hate you. Now I love you. Hope to talk to you on Doomed or Scam Economy. What? This is not real, is it? For real? I got to hear more about this if this is legit.
I used to hate you. Now I love you. That's pretty amazing.
That's awesome.
If it's true, that's an awesome
I would
story.
love
That's
to.
an
I would
incredible
love
story.
to hear more about this. Yes, I would love to hear more about this. If it's, I almost feel like someone's joking, but maybe they're not. Maybe
I think they're probably
happen.
I've heard some really crazy, like, stories of people going through change, in a period of time. 10 years, that's pretty long, so I it's possible.
I look forward to talking to you.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out too. Zia Spots with $2. I love your hoodie, Mike. That's all. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you saying that.
Najra is in the chat still saying 1000% true. Wow.
Oh, very cool. More. I'm really curious to hear about that.
Please reach out to me so we can make sure this happens on another stream. It's obviously too late now. I would not be able to give you the attention this conversation deserves, but I want to have that conversation really bad. So please, let's talk. Thomas Ford with a super chat in commemoration of May 4th, the historic day at Kent State. I think we're going to say the historic Star Wars Day. But in commemoration of May 4th, there's going to be a big protest on campus. Source: I'm a graduate student at Kent. Ooh, interesting. Ooh, that's on Saturday. It's too bad it's on Saturday. I feel like they would have got more people out if it was on a weekday. But I'm sure they'll still get a lot of people out. I'll monitor that. That's interesting.
Lizzie Bennett with $5. Thank you, Lizzie. If I didn't know any better, I'd say Biden is trying to lose the election. It literally feels that way. Like, it feels like he wants to. Alienating the young base, Middle Easterns, calling Japan xenophobic. I haven't seen what he said about Japan, but yeah, he's off his rocker. Narrator with $5. When you say you think Biden is going to lose, but you're not going to actually support anyone else, you're giving up to Trump. When you say Biden's... Well, I mean, I said that I live in a blue state, so I'm not going to vote for Biden. I'll vote for like whoever's on the ballot. Cornel West, Jill Stein, Claudia de la Cruz is probably like my favorite, but I have no problem voting for Jill Stein or Cornel West. I think they're pretty cool, but it's just a protest vote. They're not going to win. And I'm real about that. I'm not going to lie to people and say, hey, if we all pull together, they could win. If that were true, it would have happened, in 2016. It would have happened when Ross Perot was running. It would have happened in 2000, with Ralph Nader. It's just, we have to change the system. But yeah, narrator. And I think that your frustration is absolutely valid, by the way, not to like placate you or blow smoke up your ass, but I feel what you're saying. Like, it's your instinct is right to be outraged by genocide, but you just have to know the limitations of our system. Our system is fucked beyond repair, and there's nothing that we can do to, move the Democrats, at least when it comes to voting. The only way that we actually make a difference is if we get electoral reform, which is hard, but still possible. We just have to have people in Congress that push it. And there is, what was it, Donald Byers Jr. maybe? He actually had a bill that would have done nationwide gerrymandering reform, first past the post, and more importantly, he would have made our system more proportional to the extent that you can make a presidential type system proportional by making it so that way we increase our district magnitude from 1 to 3, meaning that rather than us just voting for like one representative, we could vote and 3 of them get elected. So that way, maybe you get a Democrat, a Republican, and like a Green Party member. Like, these are small things that we can do to make a difference. And that's what I really push people to do. And there are organizations, by the way, that are trying to reform the system, whether it's like through ranked choice voting or other means. And I think that those efforts are really what the third party movement should support. Like, I'm not saying you can't support a third party movement, but like the ultimate goal is to make these candidates viable. And so like supporting electoral reform should be a really huge priority for folks. Okay, last one, Rachel Atwood with $2. How long until Pelosi retires already? Vegas odds. I think she's not going to retire. I think she's probably going to stay there until she can't any longer physically. That's my guess.
Let's raid not even a show.
Hold on, really quick.
Oh.
Hasan, superfan, subscribed for 1 month at tier 1 over on Twitch for me. Thank you so much. And got another raid from Megyn Anaconda a little bit ago, or Mega Anaconda a little bit ago. Thank you so much. All right, who are we rating?
Not even a show.
Not even a show.
Love
they're
them.
An awesome. They're an awesome show that does pranks on people like Rudy Giuliani, who we were talking about before, and Alex Jones. All right, bye, fam.
Well, wait, don't do we gotta do all at the same time? Wait, no. Why are you?
All right, I started it.
Hold on. Hold on. Did you press it yet?
I'm waiting for you.
It's loading up. Oh. It's loading up. All right, thank you, everyone. Great show. See you all real soon. And take care. I'm going to rate a rate. Are you ready? Ready?
I'm ready.
Now.
See you next week, everyone.